Chapter 104. It could be said that as long as Wang Mang killed King He Crocodile, he would be able to evolve again. After all, Wang Mang believed that with his luck, he could casually draw something good. It was even possible for him to draw a few 100 million evolution points. This was also why Wang Mang could not wait. Killing King He Crocodile was like a huge reward to Wang Mang. At the same time, Old Turtle, who was already extremely touched, was moved to tears. He only regretted not following Wang Mang earlier. After all, they had just met and Wang Mang was willing to avenge him. How bad could he be? Therefore, Old Turtle secretly swore in his heart that after Wang Mang helped him avenge his death, he would follow Wang Mang until death. "I will lead the way for my king," Old Turtle said gratefully. Hearing this, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction and followed behind Old Turtle. Just as Old Turtle was leading the way on the water surface, he suddenly stopped. Then, Old Turtle panicked and said, "My king, Hey Crocodile, is here. He's nearby. His aura, I'm too familiar with it." Hearing this, Wang Mang looked at Old Turtle in surprise. Of course, Wang Mang knew that Old Turtle would not lie to him. Thinking of this, Wang Mang slowly spat out his scarlet snake tongue and tried to capture the aura in the air. As expected, the aura of a top predator, another apex predator, had appeared in his territory. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt a chill in his heart. He did not care about Old Turtle's panic at all. If King He Crocodile came to his territory, it would save him a lot of trouble. Right at this time, Wang Mang saw an enormous creature emerge from the distant forest by the reservoir's shore. After this gigantic creature came out, it slowly moved its gigantic body and entered the reservoir. Old Turtle naturally saw this too. He panicked and said, "My king, he's a crocodile. He's coming." Hearing this, Wang Mang calmly looked at the huge crocodile approaching from the reservoir. The huge crocodile was very large. At a glance, it was at least 36 meters tall. It was like a small cruise ship on the water surface. The crocodile's skin was pitch black, and its tough and thick crocodile armor made it look like a fully armed warrior. It was also very fast in the reservoir. As its huge body moved, huge waves appeared on the water surface. This was the first time that Wang Mang saw such a huge crocodile. How terrifying was a 36-meter-long crocodile? Each floor was 4 meters tall, which meant that this gigantic crocodile was as long as a 9-story building. In addition, his body was also very broad, even wider than Wang Mang's. This giant black crocodile's body had expanded to a width of nearly 4 meters. Of course, such a huge body was indeed comparable to a colossus to other creatures. But it was that huge, it was not as to Wang as. One must know that Wang Mang's body was 48 meters long. Therefore, although the huge He crocodile was huge, there was still a gap between it and Wang Mang. Similarly, after seeing Wang Mang's body on the water surface, the He crocodile immediately stopped. He looked at Wang Mang's huge body on the water surface, and his heart began to pound. Wang Mang's body was too big. It was much bigger than his. Also, he felt a fatal threat from Wang Mang's aura. This clearly proved that the huge black python in front of him had the ability to kill him. Moreover, it was very likely that he had entered Wang Mang's territory. To a great demon that dominated a region, this was simply a blatant provocation. Because of this, the He crocodile hesitated when he saw Old Turtle in front of him. He was obviously intimidated by Wang Mang's terrifying body, and even felt that it was impossible to stop halfway. He had no scruples along the way and had entered the territories of great demons a few times, but he relied on his huge body to be unscrupulous. Many great demons on land could not threaten him at all, and he had always thought of himself as the overlord of the water. When he was chasing Old Turtle along the way, he was even more unscrupulous and charged straight through. But what gave He Crocodile a headache was that he had entered Wang Mang's territory. He was not afraid of other great demons, but he was still very wary of Wang Mang, who was also the overlord of the water. If Wang Mang was not so big, he would not be so afraid. The problem was that he was not as big as Wang Mang. Sometimes, size was the easiest way to show off one's strength. The stronger the existence, the more terrifying the size. Therefore, Hey Crocodile knew that he had kicked a steel plate just by judging from Wang Mang's size. Therefore, when Hey Crocodile looked at Old Turtle, who was so close to him, he was ready to give up even though he was very unwilling. Of course, it was obviously impossible to leave so easily. He had to inform the owner of this territory. Hey Crocodile and Wang Mang looked at each other and said apologetically, "I didn't mean to intrude on your territory. I didn't mean to intrude on your territory. Please forgive me. I'll leave your territory now." Hearing that, Wang Mang slowly opened his bloody mouth and said coldly, "There's no need to leave. Since you're already here, stay." After hearing Wang Mang's words, Hey Crocodile's heart sank. He naturally knew that Wang Mang was not willing to leave the matter at that. After all, when monsters interacted with each other, it was usually easier to talk when they were at the same level of strength. Once there was a gap in strength between two parties, the stronger party would target the weaker party and even eat the weaker party. Because for monsters, the fastest way to increase their strength was to devour the same kind of strength or devour the same kind of strength that was stronger. This was the reason why the monsters on Earth were much more prosperous than the cultivators of the moment. However, Hey Crocodile was not someone to be trifled with. He had lived for 1,800 years and naturally had the pride of a powerful monster. Therefore, in the face of Wang Mang's unfriendly tone, Hey Crocodile slowly opened his bloody mouth and said, "Do you really want to fight to the death?" His question was to ask Wang Mang what exactly he wanted. If he just wanted to get some benefits and make him pay a price, it was fine. If he really wanted to eat him, then today's battle of life and death was unavoidable. Hearing that, Wang Mang shook his huge snake head and said slowly, "Fight to the death? You think too highly of yourself. It just so happens that I haven't eaten a powerful monster in a long time. I haven't eaten such a huge crocodile. Moreover, even if you don't look for me, I will kill you for Old Turtle." After hearing Wang Mang's words, Hey Crocodile knew that there was no way out. He was so angry that he laughed and said, "Okay, let's see who will be the winner." After that, Hey Crocodile moved. He moved his huge body and created waves on the surface of the water as he rushed towards Wang Mang. Seeing that, Wang Mang was not afraid at all. He also moved his huge body and swam towards Hey Crocodile at an extremely fast speed. In an instant, on the surface of the huge reservoir, two huge monsters were rushing towards each other at the fastest speed possible. If there were outsiders there, they would have fainted because such a scene was simply too unbearable. Moreover, both sides of the battle were huge monsters. It was not an exaggeration to say that such a scene was extremely rare. If someone filmed it, the world would be in an uproar. Chapter 105. Of course, such a horrifying scene could not be leaked out. It was as if this battle had to be decided before daybreak. Otherwise, if someone found out about it and filmed it, the world would be in chaos. Would you believe that there was a 50-meter long supergiant python? Would you believe that there was a 36-meter long supergiant crocodile? Similarly, it was Wang Mang's idea to end the battle before dawn. At this moment, Wang Mang and He were charging at each other. It was as if two shocking waves were about to collide. 10,000 beast deterrents. When they were about to collide, Wang Mang immediately used his skill. He was indeed very strong, but he was not as strong as Wang Mang. Therefore, once Wang Mang used 10,000 beast deterrents, his opponent's strength would be reduced by 1/3. In that case, He, who was already weaker than Wang Mang, would be in an even worse situation. Sure enough, after Wang Mang used his skill, Wang Mang's eyes lit up. He, who was charging at Wang Mang, felt his body tremble. At this moment, He suddenly felt an inexplicable fear towards Wang Mang. However, he overcame his fear and continued to charge at Wang Mang fiercely. At this point, both sides were very close, and the battle in the reservoir was about to start. At the same time, Wang Mang used his skill again. steel body, super self-healing. At the same time, He, who was already in front of Wang Mang, opened his terrifying mouth. He opened his ferocious mouth and bit towards Wang Mang's huge snake head. If he bit Wang Mang's head, he was confident that he could kill Wang Mang. This was because his bite force was very terrifying. The two abilities that he relied on to survive were his bite force and his defense. He had a bite force of almost 30 tons and a crocodile leather armor that was comparable to copper skin and iron bones. Naturally, he was best at primitive battles. Therefore, Wang Mang's battle with him in terms of raw power was what he wanted the most. But when his bloody mouth was about to bite Wang Mang's head, Wang Mang easily dodged. At the same time, Wang Mang's bloody mouth bit down on Hey Croc's huge mouth from the side. Hey Crocodile's bloody mouth was bitten by Wang Mang instead. In its panic, the black crocodile began to struggle madly, stirring up shocking waves. However, Wang Mang refused to let go. He wanted to inject poison, but he couldn't bite in. This was because the black crocodile's mouth was too hard. It was as hard as steel. With no other choice, Wang Mang could only bite down on this guy's bloody mouth and not let go no matter what. At the same time, Wang Mang suddenly remembered the best way to kill a crocodile on Animal World. That's right. Death entanglement was definitely the best way to kill a crocodile. Thinking of this, Wang Mang twisted his huge body and began to entangle Hey Crocodile's huge body slowly. Hey Crocodile naturally saw through Wang Mang's plan. He swung his bloody mouth and huge body crazily, but it was useless. Not only that, when Wang Mang's huge body entangled him, Hey Crocodile's heart was filled with fear. He didn't expect that he would be finished just because he was one step behind. His fear of death evolved into a violent struggle. Unfortunately, after Wang Mang entangled Hey Crocodile, he was even more delighted. He began to shrink his huge body continuously, and his strength became greater and greater. In just a few moments, Wang Mang's huge body wrapped Hey Crocodile's entire body like a dumpling. Seeing this scene, Old Turtle, who was watching the battle from afar, was even more frightened. When he saw that Wang Mang had the upper hand, he heaved a sigh of relief. He was afraid that the king he had just acknowledged would not be able to defeat Hey Crocodile. If even Wang Mang could not defeat Hey Crocodile, he would be finished. Fortunately, the king he had just acknowledged was more powerful than he had imagined. In just a few moments, Hey Crocodile had the upper hand. Moreover, Old Turtle had lived for more than 1,000 years. He could be said to be very knowledgeable. He knew that if a crocodile was entangled by a huge python, it would definitely end badly. Moreover, the king he had just acknowledged was bigger than Hey Crocodile and had a higher cultivation level. If Hey Crocodile did not have any other tricks up his sleeve, he was basically waiting for death. If Wang Mang wanted to kill Hey Crocodile, he only needed to slowly entangle Hey Crocodile. In fact, it was just as Old Turtle had guessed. Wang Mang was very relaxed now. After entangling Hey Crocodile, Wang Mang kept increasing his entanglement strength. Gradually, Hey Crocodile's huge body started to change shape. In extreme fear, King Hey Crocodile began to beg Wang Mang in pain. "King, please spare my life. I'm willing to submit to you." Hey Crocodile's begging. Wang Mang turned a deaf ear to it. He could not help but mutter to himself, "You are even more shameless than me. How could I possibly subdue a shameless person like you?" In order to kill Hey Crocodile faster, Wang Mang began to spray a large amount of corrosive poison from his mouth. Hey Crocodile, who had already been bitten by Wang Mang, struggled even more crazily and let out a painful roar. This was because Wang Mang's corrosive poison was quickly corroding Hey Crocodile's mouth. The pain of flesh and blood turning into pus and blood. One could imagine how painful it was. Of course, Wang Mang did not care about Hey Crocodile's frantic struggle. Hey Crocodile was definitely going to die anyway. As Hey Crocodile struggled, their entangled bodies sank to the bottom of the water. Although Hey Crocodile was indeed a powerful demon and could survive underwater for a long time without breathing, he was definitely no match for Wang Mang. Wang Mang could breathe underwater. It could be said that he was like a fish in water. He was much more suitable for living underwater than Hey Crocodile. Hence, Hey Crocodile only lasted for 4 hours before it was completely killed by Wang Mang. At this moment, Wang Mang, who was still entangled with Hey Crocodile, slowly released its huge body after confirming that Hey Crocodile was dead. However, when Wang Mang released Hey Crocodile, he realized that Hey Crocodile's body had been severely deformed. Hey Crocodile's body, which was originally huge and uniform, was now squeezed by Wang Mang like a candied haw. Originally, it was like this asterisk. Now it was like this sad face, OU_UO. Of course, to Wang Mang, no matter what Hey Crocodile's body became, it wouldn't affect Wang Mang's appetite. Hence, Wang Mang was so excited that he opened his bloody mouth to the maximum. Then, Wang Mang slowly swallowed the entire Hey Crocodile from head to toe. To be honest, if it wasn't for his terrifying digestive ability, Wang Mang definitely wouldn't dare to swallow his prey like that, because Hey Crocodile's body was really too big. However, Wang Mang actually swallowed Hey Crocodile whole to save himself the trouble. What made Wang Mang heave a sigh of relief was that it took him more than an hour to successfully swallow the black crocodile into his stomach. As for Old Turtle, who was far away, he was already stunned. He was almost scared to death by Wang Mang's actions, because Wang Mang's body was indeed huge, but Hey Crocodile's body wasn't small either. However, Wang Mang directly swallowed Hey Crocodile, scaring Old Turtle quite a bit. However, after seeing Wang Mang successfully swallow Hey Crocodile, Old Turtle became even more loyal to Wang Mang. This king that he had just recognized was extremely strong and treated him so well. He had no reason to not be loyal. This kind of king was worthy of Old Turtle pledging his life to follow. At the same time, after Wang Mang ate Hey Crocodile, the system's familiar voice sounded, "Ding. Congratulations, host. Successfully swallowed Hey Crocodile, Great Demon. Obtained 5 million evolution points. Ding. Congratulations, host. Mission completed. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 30 million evolution points. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained beginner blind box X1. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained beginner lottery chance X1. Chapter 106. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was bursting with joy. Now that he had completed the quest, he had obtained 35 million evolution points. Originally, he was less than 50 million evolution points away from evolving. Now, he had obtained another 35 million evolution points. This meant that Wang Mang was only 10 million evolution points away from evolving again. The problem was that Wang Mang still had other rewards. This time's quest reward was quite good. He had also obtained a beginner blind box. He had also obtained a free beginner lucky draw. If he opened these 2 system rewards, he would get a few evolution points, and it would be enough for him to evolve. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's heart was filled with joy. If he did not have misgivings about the Old Turtle beside him, he would have laughed. Wang Mang even wanted to laugh without caring about his image. At this time, Old Turtle had already swam over from afar. He carefully looked at Wang Mang and asked, "King, are you all right?" In truth, Old Turtle was also very confused. Why was his king's stomach not bloated after eating Hei? Of course, he did not know how terrifying Wang Mang's digestive ability was. It was even specially modified by the system. Thus, any prey that Wang Mang could eat would be instantly consumed. He did not have to worry about being stuffed to death. Facing Old Turtle's question, Wang Mang shook a snake head and said, "I'm fine. This king is very good. Old Turtle, in the future, this large reservoir will be managed by you in place of this king. In the future, if there are any problems, you can immediately report to this king, right? You have to properly guard this reservoir for this king. Don't disappoint this king's expectations of you." Hearing Wang Mang's words, Old Turtle became even more emotional. The feeling of being unreservedly trusted moved him to tears. Under his emotional state, Old Turtle made a solemn vow and promised Wang Mang, "King, don't worry. Your Majesty, don't worry. This old servant will definitely live up to your expectations. This old servant will follow my king to death. This old servant will definitely not disappoint my king." Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. Only then did he say in satisfaction, "Good, old bastard. I'll leave this to you." After saying that, Wang Mang moved his huge body and left under Old Turtle's respectful gaze. Wang Mang first swam back to the shore of the Huanshui Reservoir and then hurried to the nest. After returning to the nest, Wang Mang curled his body into a ball, then excitedly and expectantly said, "System, open the blind box for me first." The next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded. "Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully opened the blind box." "Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained an autograph photo from the author, Chasing Dreams." After hearing about the prizes for the first round, Lin Fan was stunned. Wang Mang was completely dumbfounded. What kind of bullsh asterisk tier reward was this? What use would he have for an author's autograph photo? Also, which lousy author was this Chasing Dreams author? In his previous life, he loved to read novels, but he didn't know any of them. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's mood became even more gloomy. "System, what I want is evolution points. Don't mess around. I want to evolve." Wang Mang couldn't help but roar in his heart. At this time, the system's voice sounded again. "Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained an old teacher's classic short movie." The system's voice once again dealt a heavy blow to Wang Mang's anticipation. What kind of person was he? How could he be interested in that kind of thing? Fine, he was indeed that kind of person, but the problem was that he had already turned into a giant python. What use would this short movie have for him? If he had a physiological need, he could also learn from Su Xian. At the very least, change it to a snake movie for me. At this time, the system's voice sounded again. "Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 30 million evolution points." "Ding! Congratulations, host. Accumulate evolution points to meet the requirements for evolution. Would you like to evolve?" "No." After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang finally let out a sigh of relief. Luckily, the elementary blind box gave him 30 million evolution points. Otherwise, Wang Mang felt that he had suffered a huge loss. Only now did he know that the elementary blind box gave him a lot of things based on luck. Looking at the blind box this time compared to the blind box last time, the difference was like heaven and earth. Luckily, the blind box gave him 30 million evolution points, which was enough for Wang Mang to evolve. Thinking about this, Wang Mang's gloomy mood decreased a lot. At the same time, Wang Mang decided not to draw the elementary lucky wheel for the time being. Right now, his luck was a bit bad. He would wait until he evolved before drawing the lottery. Thinking about this, Wang Mang said in his heart, "System, begin evolving." At the same time, the system's familiar voice sounded again. "Ding! Successfully deducted 260 million evolution points. Beginning evolution." In the next moment, Wang Mang excitedly began to evolve again. This was because after this evolution, his body would reach an unprecedented 50 meters. Then, Wang Mang lost consciousness from his excitement. 2 hours later, only then did Wang Mang awaken from his evolution. First of all, his body had once again become even larger. His evolution this time had changed a lot. Before looking at his personal information, Wang Mang had already sensed it. His body had once again become a lot bigger than before. Thinking about this, Wang Mang immediately said in his heart, "System, open my personal information." In the next moment, his personal information appeared in front of his eyes. Host, Wang Mang type, deep sea giant python status, adult cultivation, 2,500 years. Body, 51 meters long, 6 meters wide, 24,000 kilograms weight. Combat strength, 24,000 kilograms bite force, 94 kilometers per hour. Skills, death coil, corrosive poison, skin camouflage, steel body, super healing, water breathing, bloodthirsty fury, 10,000 beast deterrence. Special, storage space, information detection, 10% evolution card, elementary lucky draw X1. Divine ability, King's slavery. Shop unlocked. Evolution points, 26 million / 520 million. After looking at his personal information, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. Not bad, not bad. He had finally broken through 50 meters. The current him was even bigger than the giant python in the movies. Wang Mang could even do it. Just like in a movie, he could wrap his huge body around a tall building. Naturally, this depended on the opportunity. At the very least, Wang Mang did not have the opportunity. If he really dared to appear in the city, the Empire would probably use force to eliminate him. Wang Mang naturally knew about this. However, who could say for sure what would happen in the future? Thinking about this, Wang Mang could not help but feel his blood boil. Actually, what Wang Mang wanted to do the most was to go to a human city. Then, just like in the movie, he would wantonly destroy everything. He would make countless people scream in fear. He would make countless people tremble in fear. Sigh. Let's not think about it for now. If there is a chance, I will definitely try it. After sighing, Wang Mang remembered that he still had the elementary lucky draw opportunity. Thinking about this, Wang Mang could not help but say in his heart, "System, use the elementary lucky draw opportunity." In the next moment, the system's familiar voice resounded. "Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully used the lucky draw opportunity." Then, a huge lucky compass appeared in Wang Mang's mind once again. However, the 9 items on the lucky compass simply made Wang Mang go crazy with excitement. The 9 prizes were as follows. 9 billion evolution points. 900 million evolution points. 600 million evolution points. 300 million evolution points. Skill, small as you wish. Divine ability, flip rivers and control water. Divine ability, cloud ride. Free evolution one time. 1% evolution card. Chapter 107. After looking at the 9 prizes, Wang Mang was stunned. He even felt that it was unbelievable. Could there be something wrong with the system? That was because none of the 9 prizes were bad. The 9 prizes were all good stuff? Could this be a dream? To be honest, after looking at the 9 prizes, Wang Mang still felt that it was unreal. Any one of these 9 prizes would be good stuff. And there was even a divine power. Divine power. Cloud riding. Wasn't this the skill of a deity? If he could really get such a divine power, just thinking about it would make him feel great. Therefore, Wang Mang was so excited that he could not wait to say, "System, let's start the lucky draw." After saying that, Wang Mang was even more excited and nervous, because the 9 prizes this time were all out of Wang Mang's expectations. In Wang Mang's opinion, there was a high possibility that there was something wrong with the system. Otherwise, how could there be such a good thing again? In fact, Wang Mang was thinking too much, since it was called the Lucky Wheel. Then, the prizes would naturally not be the same all the time. However, there was a limit to the best prize of the beginner Lucky Wheel. Moreover, the higher the level of the Lucky Wheel, the higher the limit. To put it bluntly, the worst prize of the higher level Lucky Wheel would be much better than the worst prize of the lower level Lucky Wheel. At the same time, Wang Mang was nervous and excited. The Lucky Wheel began to spin slowly. This also made Wang Mang's heart in his mouth as he stared at the Lucky Wheel. After a minute, the Lucky Wheel's needle began to slow down. At the same time, the system's familiar voice sounded. "Ding! Congratulations, host. You have won a 1% evolution card." "Ding! Congratulations, host. You have won a 1% evolution card." After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang could not help but look at the rest of the prizes regretfully. In Wang Mang's opinion, the 1% evolution card was not the best thing, but it was not the worst either. Because what Wang Mang really wanted was a divine ability. For example, riding on the clouds, controlling the river, and shrinking at will. Wang Mang really wanted these 3 divine abilities. There was no need to talk about water control. Just from the name alone, it was very suitable for Wang Mang's identity as the overlord of the water. There was no need to even mention Cloud Ride. Just from the name of this spell, one could tell that it was a spell that allowed one to fly into the sky. In Wang Mang's eyes, this kind of divine ability was simply the means of an immortal. Regrettably, he saw these prizes, but he couldn't get them. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt a little helpless. However, he still obtained a 10% evolution card. The 1% evolution card was pretty good. At least after getting it, Wang Mang saw another chance to evolve. The one-fold evolution card could allow him to successfully evolve by paying 10% of his evolution points. After using the one-fold evolution card, he only needed 52 million evolution points for his next evolution, which originally required 520 million evolution points. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's bewilderment lessened by a lot. In the future, I have to work hard to do missions and try to get something good. It's too hard to get skills after evolving now. Whether it's the lottery or the blind box, they're all ways for me to get skills and divine abilities. It was clear that Wang Mang also knew that if he wanted to get skills and divine abilities, he couldn't rely on evolving. It seems that sometimes taking the initiative to attack was the best method. Wang Mang lamented in his heart, but his mood was still quite good. When the sky turned dark, Wang Mang once again left the nest. He twisted his huge body and shuttled through the night forest. After a few minutes, Wang Mang had already arrived at his own farm. In the pigsty, there were 10,000 fat white pigs. It was clear that they had already been prepared. Wang Mang naturally ate the 10,000 pigs without any hesitation, earning him another 6 million evolution points. At the same time, Wang Mang also discovered that ever since his body became bigger, it was more convenient to eat pigs. Basically, he could easily eat a pig in one bite. The time he had to eat pigs had also decreased. It was clear that as Wang Mang's body increased, it was more convenient to eat. After all, how big was a pig? For Wang Mang, it was as convenient as eating dumplings. After eating the 10,000 pigs, Wang Mang left the farm in satisfaction. He first went to the shore of the reservoir and washed away the smell of blood. Then, he patrolled the area as usual. He first patrolled the shore of the reservoir. According to the old turtle, everything was normal. Thus, after patrolling the area around the reservoir, Wang Mang left the reservoir and patrolled the land within a radius of 10 li. Don't ask why Wang Mang did this. It was mainly because he was too idle and the system did not give him any missions. Thus, Wang Mang could only rely on the pig subsistence allowance to barely survive. But sometimes, if Wang Mang really wanted to relax, he really couldn't. After Wang Mang finished patrolling his territory and was preparing to head back, he suddenly saw a large multicolored tiger leaping impatiently from the forest in the distance. Wang Mang immediately stopped. After carefully observing, he felt that the big multicolored tiger was very familiar. Isn't this Lord Hushan? What is he doing here? After confirming the big multicolored tiger's identity, Wang Mang immediately became suspicious. Didn't this guy just return to his territory 2 days ago? Even if he came to move around, he shouldn't be this fast. Thinking about this, Wang Mang could not help but become even more suspicious. Moreover, this guy's speed was too fast. It did not seem like he was rushing, but more like he was running for his life. Just as Wang Mang was guessing, Lord Hushan, who was running for his life, inadvertently saw Wang Mang. When he saw Wang Mang, Lord Hushan could not help but feel happy. He ran toward Wang Mang without caring about anything else. "Brother, you have to save me." Lord Hushan, who was screaming for help, ran even faster. In a short while, Lord Hushan had already reached Wang Mang's side. Moreover, he had no idea how long he had been running. He was panting like a bull. "What's going on? Lord Hushan, who are you being hunted down by?" Lord Hushan looked at Wang Mang with resentment and said, "Brother Giant Python, I'm sorry. Brother, I've been screwed over by you. The Tree Demon King has already sent his underlings to kill you. Moreover, they're the strongest underlings of the Tree Demon King. Who do you think I've offended? They were sent to kill you, but the first thing they came for was me. They almost killed me. If it weren't for the fact that I wasn't asleep, I wouldn't even know how I died. Hearing up to this point, Wang Mang was surprised and speechless. Logically speaking, if the Tree Demon King wanted to cause trouble, it should have sent its underlings to cause trouble for him. However, the problem was, why did the underlings of the Tree Demon King come for Lord Hushan instead? It seemed that Lord Hushan had really been implicated by him. Could this be the legendary disaster in the pond? Thinking of this, Wang Mang could not help but want to laugh. However, he did not. On the contrary, Wang Mang was more concerned about what kind of powerful figure the Tree Demon King had sent. However, Wang Mang did not care. As long as the Tree Demon King did not send out a Monster King, he was not worried at all. This was because Wang Mang's cultivation had already reached the level of 2,500 years. In other words, without 2,500 years of cultivation, there was no way anyone could fight against Wang Mang. Even if it was a monster with more than 2,500 years of cultivation, it would still be a monster with a cultivation of 2,500 years. As long as they did not reach the terrifying level of the Tree Demon King, they would not be able to threaten Wang Mang's life. Wang Mang's strength had been increasing rapidly. In such a short period of time, he had already evolved twice. This was also the reason why Wang Mang was not worried. Wang Mang indeed had nothing to worry about unless the Tree Demon King came personally. However, even if the Tree Demon King came personally, Wang Mang was not afraid. He could not defeat the Tree Demon King for now. However, even if he could not defeat the Tree Demon King, could he not run away? Chapter 108. Of course, Wang Mang was not the kind of person who would run away at the slightest provocation. After all, as the overlord of a region, Wang Mang also had his own pride. Of course, if the opponent was too strong, then he would pretend he did not say anything. In addition, Wang Mang's strength was increasing very quickly. In just a short period of time, he had already evolved twice. This was also the reason why Wang Mang could sit back and relax. This was because he had nothing to worry about unless the Treant King personally made a move. However, it was one thing for the Treant King to personally make a move. Whether or not he could catch up was another matter. The biggest drawback of a plant-type monster was that it couldn't run fast. In addition, in Wang Mang's opinion, no matter how strong the Treant King was, it was impossible for it to have Demon King level subordinates. What was a Demon King? The most basic requirement for a Demon King was to have at least 3,000 years of cultivation. However, who would be willing to be someone else's subordinate? Basically, everyone was used to being a king. Thus, facing the panicking Lord Hushan, Wang Mang calmly asked, "What kind of subordinates did the Treant King send? Why are you so scared?" Seeing that Wang Mang was as calm as ever, Lord Hushan couldn't help but calm down a little. He said bitterly, "Brother Giant Python, you don't know. The Treant King has sent 2 of its strongest subordinates to deal with us. I'm afraid their cultivation has reached 2,500 years." Speaking to this point, Lord Hushan's voice was filled with fear. After all, his cultivation had only reached 1,000 years. Facing a great monster with 2,500 years of cultivation, just thinking about it made him despair. This was because the strength of great monsters was also divided into different levels. The greater the difference in cultivation, the greater the difference in strength. Thus, if he did not run fast enough, he would have died. After hearing Lord Hushan's words, Wang Mang, who did not care, became even more indifferent. However, when Wang Mang thought about the value of great monsters, his eyes could not help but light up. 2 great monsters would be worth at least 10 million evolution points. Moreover, these 2 great monsters had reached 2,500 years of cultivation. If he could eat these 2 great demons, he would. The evolution points obtained would definitely be more than 10 million. Thinking of this, Wang Mang could not help but want to laugh. He even suspected that the Treant King was here to give him evolution points. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was instantly delighted. "Brother Shanjun, don't worry. With me around, as long as it's not a Demon King, there's nothing to be afraid of." Hearing Wang Mang's confident words, Lord Hushan was stunned at first. Then, after carefully sensing it, he was shocked. He did not expect that in just a few days, the strength of this valiant neighbor of his had increased by another level. Compared to the threat Wang Mang gave him in the past, the current Wang Mang gave him an even more terrifying sense of danger. For a moment, Lord Hushan was shocked. At the same time, he really wanted to know how Wang Mang did it. It had only been such a short time. How could Wang Mang's strength increase so quickly? Unless Wang Mang ate great demons every day. Moreover, he had eaten quite a number of great demons. Otherwise, it would be impossible for him to increase his strength so quickly. Thinking of this, Lord Hushan became even more fearful of Wang Mang. This was a chain reaction brought about by the increase in strength. Let's go. Let's stay in my lair for a night and wait for the great demons to chase after us. After saying this, Wang Mang moved his huge body and left. Lord Hushan immediately followed behind. After arriving at Wang Mang's lair, Lord Hushan sighed. Brother Giant Python is still the most comfortable. This territory is big and close to a water source. There are also a lot of prey. Hearing this, Wang Mang was speechless. He thought to himself, can you feed me by relying on the prey in the forest? In reality, Wang Mang's thoughts were correct. If there was no system, with his huge body, the prey in the forest would not be able to feed him. Of course, the big psychic fish in the reservoir could feed Wang Mang. After all, before Wang Mang occupied the nearby territory, the two giant catfish had lived here for nearly 1,000 years. However, in Wang Mang's opinion, the reason why there were so many big psychic fish in the reservoir was inseparable from the geocentric marrow. To be honest, if it wasn't for the fact that he had to eat pigs every day and guard the geocentric marrow, Wang Mang would have long wanted to wipe out other demons. After all, the geocentric marrow was about to mature. According to the system's notification, it should mature in 3 months. At that time, once he obtained the geocentric marrow, Wang Mang's strength would definitely soar once again. This geocentric marrow was a good treasure to actually be able to nurture so many spiritual fish demons in this reservoir. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt a little helpless. If only this treasure of heaven and earth could mature earlier. This so-called treasure of heaven and earth, Wang Mang had never eaten it before. He didn't know what it tasted like or if it was delicious. Forget it. Anyway, 3 months was not a long time. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's mood became a lot better. After that, Wang Mang's body curled up into a ball, and he started to sleep. Seeing that Wang Mang had started to sleep, Lord Hushan hesitated for a while and also started to sleep. From his point of view, Wang Mang was not worried at all. He must have a card up his sleeve. On the second night, Wang Mang moved his body. Then, he glanced at Lord Hushan and was speechless. This guy had woken up long ago, but he was unwilling to leave the nest. Needless to say, Wang Mang knew that this guy was afraid of death. Otherwise, he wouldn't have waited until he woke up. Let's go out for a walk. Logically speaking, those two greater demons should be here as well. Wang Mang said in a relaxed tone and moved his huge body out of the cave. Seeing this, Lord Hushan quickly got up from the ground and slowly followed behind Wang Mang. After walking out of the nest, Wang Mang was surprised to find that it was raining heavily. It could be said that it was a downpour. In addition, the wind was very strong. This was probably a typhoon. Of course, for Wang Mang, it was a small problem. Wang Mang didn't feel the slightest bit affected by this storm that could even break trees. Just as Wang Mang was about to go to the farm to eat the 10,000 pigs, he suddenly saw 2 huge figures in the forest far away. It was a super brown bear that was 20 meters tall. As it walked, many trees were broken by it. It could even be said that the ground trembled slightly with every step it took. The storm hit its body, but it had no effect at all. The other huge creature was a giant python that was 45 meters long. This was a green giant python. Its size was much smaller than Wang Mang's. Of course, this was only compared to Wang Mang. It did not mean that its size was small. Its size was also 3 meters wide. As it moved, it knocked down many trees. The two could be said to be unscrupulous. It was obvious that they did not put the owner of this territory in their eyes. After seeing this scene, Wang Mang's originally good mood was completely gloomy. Lord Hushan, who was hiding behind Wang Mang, was already trembling in fear. Because these two guys were the ones who chased after him back then. If not for these two guys, who had the mentality of playing with him, he would not have been able to escape to Wang Mang. At the same time, the two big demons were 1,000 meters apart, but they were already looking at Wang Mang from afar. However, although these two big demons were surprised by Wang Mang's huge size, they did not care. They were not the slightest bit concerned. They were rushing over here at a steady pace. This scene caused Wang Mang to burn with rage, and he was incomparably furious in his heart. These two reckless fellows were simply too arrogant. They were wantonly destroying his territory in front of him. This was completely an unscrupulous provocation to Wang Mang. They did not put him in their eyes at all. Chapter 109. I'll turn you all into evolution points to appease the anger in my heart. Wang Mang muttered to himself in his anger. Then, Wang Mang began to move his huge body and rush towards the two fellows. Seeing Wang Mang rush up, this 20-meter-tall brown bear stood up straight, opened its bloody mouth, and let out a powerful roar at Wang Mang. Roar, roar, let me deal with you first. With that, the brown bear charged towards Wang Mang like a mountain that could shake the earth and shake the mountains. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang sneered in his heart. These two fellows were really crazy. Under these circumstances, they chose to fight him alone. Wasn't this giving Wang Mang a chance to kill them? Of course, the cultivation of these two fellows was about the same as Wang Mang. Therefore, Wang Mang did not use the intimidation of 10,000 B skill. On the contrary, Wang Mang used another battle skill, Steel Body. In the next moment, the charging super brown bear stood up again when it was about to meet Wang Mang. Then, the super brown bear's two huge bear paws grabbed at Wang Mang's head. Clearly, this super brown bear had dealt with super giant pythons many times. It could be said that it was a walk in the park. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang also subconsciously dodged the huge snake head. However, his body was still hugged by this fellow's huge bear paws. At the same time, Wang Mang also seized the opportunity, opened his bloody mouth, and sprayed corrosive poison at the brown bear's face. Seeing this scene, the brown bear turned pale with fright. He subconsciously wanted to dodge, but it was already too late. Poochie! Wang Mang's corrosive poison was sprayed on his bare face. In the next moment, the brown bear could not help but let out a miserable roar. At the same time, his huge bear paw let go of Wang Mang. He covered his bare face in pain and screamed, "Ah, my eyes! My eyes!" Clearly, the super brown bear demon had never dreamed of this. Wang Mang was a freaking super giant python, yet it could spit venom. In fact, before he came, the Trant King had already warned him to be careful. However, he didn't take it seriously at all. If he had been more cautious, he wouldn't have had to face Wang Mang's corrosive poison. Now that the corrosive poison was rapidly rotting his face, one could imagine how painful it felt. It simply caused the super brown bear to let out a miserable howl in pain. It rolled on the ground and knocked down a large number of trees. Seeing this scene, the green super python demon not far away could not help but be shocked. He did not expect that Wang Mang's strength was actually so formidable. They had only exchanged a single blow, but a single mouthful of poison had tormented the super brown bear to the brink of death. It could even be said that Wang Mang's strength was simply enough to hang his opponent up and beat him up. Thinking of this, the green python's heart became particularly heavy. Now that the super brown bear had lost its combat strength in just one round, it was terrifying. The green python even had thoughts of retreating. Wang Mang's strength was a little scary. They were both giant pythons, but Wang Mang could still spit venom. This was simply illogical. After all, although he had many powerful techniques, he did not have the ability to spit venom. Just thinking about the scene of Wang Mang spitting venom was enough to make him anxious. For a moment, The green python was already afraid. Not far away, Lord Hushan was also stunned when he saw this scene. When he saw the super brown bear demon tearing the flesh on his face on the ground in pain, his hair stood on end. Wang Mang had used this move in front of the Treant King before, and it killed the Golden Condor King in one move. At that time, he thought that the Golden Condor King's strength was too weak, but now it seemed that was not the case at all. Wang Mang's venom-spitting technique was actually the same, tormenting the super brown bear to the brink of death, instantly losing its combat strength. Was this the legendary move of eating everything in one move? After all, this super brown bear's strength had not been displayed at all. Thinking of this, Lord Hushan's heart was filled with envy. They were both great demons, but he could only run for his life when he encountered this brown bear demon. However, Wang Mang defeated the enemy in one move. At the same time, Wang Mang seized the opportunity again, opened his bloody mouth, and bit the super brown bear's arm. Then, Wang Mang did the same and bit the super brown bear several times in a row, causing the super brown bear to scream crazily in pain. That was because Wang Mang didn't just bite him once. Every time he bit, he injected a large amount of corrosive poison. Therefore, under Wang Mang's 5 to 6 mouthfuls of corrosive poison, the super brown bear could only wait for death. After doing all this, Wang Mang slowly straightened his 10-meter-tall snake head and stared coldly at the giant green python. Facing Wang Mang's ferocious aura, the giant green python, which was already afraid, could not help but lower its huge snake head subconsciously. Obviously, the giant green python only knew Wang Mang's strength when facing Wang Mang. It even felt an inexplicable sense of fear when facing Wang Mang at this moment. Of course, what the giant green python did not know was that Wang Mang had already used the skill 10,000 beast deterrence on him. This guy was not even as big as him, so it definitely could not be compared to this super brown bear size. Therefore, Wang Mang did not hesitate to use the skill 10,000 beast deterrence. After all, if this super brown bear size was 50 meters, then its fighting power was simply terrifying. This was because the monster that destroyed the Earth in Ultraman was only around 60 to 70 meters tall. If this super brown bear really reached 50 meters, then it was no different from a monster. At the same time, Wang Mang slowly moved his huge body and began to approach the giant green python. After seeing Wang Mang approach, the giant green python subconsciously retreated quite a distance. Fellow cultivator, this is all a misunderstanding. I really did not want to cause trouble for you. I was completely forced by the Treant King. After hearing the giant green python's words, Wang Mang was speechless. This guy was also a fence-sitter. However, how could Wang Mang, who lacked evolution points to evolve, let this guy go so easily? This guy and the super brown bear could be said to be Wang Mang's meal, a huge amount of evolution points. Therefore, Wang Mang opened his bloody mouth and said in a cold tone, "Since you've already come to cause trouble for me, you should have already prepared to die. I'll send you two on your way, so that you can reunite with the Golden Condor King below." After saying that, Wang Mang moved his huge body and rushed toward the giant green python without restraint. Seeing this scene, the giant green python felt bitter and could only bite the bullet and rush forward. He knew that it was impossible to escape. Wang Mang was bigger than him, so how could he be slower than him? Even if I die, I'll drag you down with me. With nowhere else to retreat to, the giant green python roared furiously and charged toward Wang Mang. At the moment when they were about to meet, Wang Mang opened his bloody mouth and bit the giant green python's body. Similarly, the giant green python also bit Wang Mang's body. However, Wang Mang's body was so tough that he almost cried out. On the contrary, Wang Mang's bloody mouth easily bit his body. Although he also bit Wang Mang's body, he definitely didn't bite as deeply as Wang Mang. This was because Wang Mang's bite's strength and defense were not something that the giant green python could compare to. At this moment, after being bitten, Wang Mang didn't panic at all. On the contrary, His huge body was entangled with the giant green python. Both of their huge bodies were entangled together. The scene was like a fried dough stick, and they were even crazily rolling on the ground. However, with Wang Mang's continuous entanglement and even using corrosive poison, the giant green python suddenly screamed in pain. Although the giant green python had also used its own healing methods and defensive methods, it was still not enough. In all aspects, he couldn't compare to Wang Mang in any field. Whether it was strength, or defense, or bite strength, or even his body, none of them were Wang Mang's match. When he realized that he couldn't beat Wang Mang at all, this giant green python even begged without any moral integrity. "I beg my king to spare my life. I'm willing to follow my king to death. My king, we were born from the same root. Why are you so anxious to kill each other?" Chapter 110. After hearing the green python's pleading, Wang Mang became even more speechless. He didn't even know where this guy had heard this famous saying from. Naturally, Wang Mang would not let it go so easily. This guy was already a fish on Wang Mang's table. He was not willing to give up a good amount of evolution points. Thus, Wang Mang replied with a sinister smile, "You don't need to follow me. Just obediently enter my stomach. Let us become one." After saying this, Wang Mang's binding strength became stronger and stronger. He even began to use corrosive poison. An hour later, in the end, the green python was successfully killed by Wang Mang. Soon after, Wang Mang slowly loosened his body and looked not far away. He saw that the super brown bear was still alive. Wang Mang spent another hour to get rid of the super brown bear. At this point, the two monsters were completely killed by Wang Mang. After getting rid of the two monsters, Wang Mang happily began to enjoy the spoils of war. There was no need to mention the super brown bear. Wang Mang tossed and turned for half an hour before eating it. As for this super green python, it was much more convenient for Wang Mang to eat. He easily divided it into two and swallowed it. At this point, the two monsters entered Wang Mang's stomach. At the same time, the system's familiar voice echoed frowny-faced Ding. "Congratulations, host. Devoured the super brown bear monster. Obtained 8 million evolution points." "Ding. Congratulations, host. Devoured the super giant python monster. Obtained 8 million evolution points." After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was bursting with joy. These two monsters were worth more than he had imagined. Every one of them was worth 8 million evolution points. Moreover, Wang Mang was one step closer to evolving. He had previously eaten 10,000 pigs for 6 million evolution points. Now, he had obtained 16 million evolution points. Moreover, he had not eaten tonight's pigs yet. After Wang Mang ate the 10,000 pigs tonight, he had almost accumulated 25 million evolution points. Do not forget that Wang Mang needed 520 million evolution points to evolve, but he got a 1% evolution card. In other words, he only needed 52 million evolution points to evolve. He had already accumulated almost half of the 52 million evolution points. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel happy. With that in mind, Wang Mang rushed to his farm, leaving behind a dumbfounded Hushan. After arriving at the farm, Wang Mang easily ate another 10,000 pigs, earning him another 9 million evolution points. Now, Wang Mang was only 25 million evolution points away from evolving once again. Satisfied, Wang Mang left the farm and went to the bank of the reservoir to wash off the blood on his body. After taking a bath, Wang Mang moved his huge body and rushed back to his nest. Although there was a big battle tonight, the harvest was more abundant than he had imagined. At this time, the system's familiar voice echoed in Wang Mang's mind. "Ding." Based on the host's current situation, the host can choose from the following missions. Mission 1. Face the Treant King's pursuit. Swallow the humiliation and ignore it. Mission time. Choose to receive the reward. Mission reward. 10 million evolution points. Mission 2. Face the Treant King's pursuit. counterattack regardless of success or failure. Mission time, within 3 days. Mission reward, 30 million evolution points. Mission 3. Face the Treant King's pursuit. Attack in anger and kill the Treant King. Mission time, within 5 days. Mission reward, 50 million evolution points. Intermediate blind box X1. Random lottery ticket X1. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was even more shocked. He never thought that the system would actually want him to fight the Treant King. Of the 3 missions, the easiest was obviously the first mission. The first mission did nothing, and he could choose to receive 10 million evolution points for free. However, how could Wang Mang be willing to choose the first mission? The only thing that made Wang Mang feel conflicted was that he could not defeat the Treant King. Did he really have to choose the second mission? Should he fight the Treant King? Although this mission also gave him 30 million evolution points. However, Wang Mang did not want to choose. He was too lazy to run, and the reward was not big. The problem was that Wang Mang wanted to choose the third mission, but the problem was that he could not defeat it. At this moment, Wang Mang could not help but feel conflicted again. Wang Mang naturally wanted to choose the third mission. However, he was faced with a very real problem. He really could not defeat it. After being silent for a long time, Wang Mang had already made his decision. He hardened his heart and said in his heart, "System, I choose the first mission." Yes, Wang Mang chose the first mission. The main thing was that he could not defeat it. If he chose the second mission to fight the Treant King, the 3,000 evolution points would be meaningless. However, in the third mission, he could not defeat the Treant King, let alone kill it. In the next moment, the system's familiar voice echoed, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Mission completed. Obtained 10 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang felt helpless. Although he had gotten 10 million evolution points for free, he had no other choice. If he had the strength, how could Wang Mang be willing to give up on the third mission's generous reward? This was only because he had no other choice. Luckily, after getting 10 million evolution points for free, he was only left with 10 million evolution points. With 10 million evolution points, he only needed to eat pigs for 2 to 3 days, and it would be enough for him to evolve. Thinking about this, although Wang Mang felt a bit regretful, he relaxed a bit. Now that he had to fight the Treant King, the system thought too highly of him. Wang Mang inwardly shook his head and absent-mindedly returned to his nest. When he returned to his nest, Lord Hushan excitedly rushed up to him. "Brother Giant Python, you're simply too strong. Both of those great demons have 2,500 years of cultivation. In the end, they were easily killed by you. Amazing. Admirable. Admirable." Facing Lord Hushan's praise, Wang Mang absent-mindedly nodded. Afterwards, Wang Mang no longer paid attention to Lord Hushan. Instead, he curled up into a ball and felt his heart ache. He felt that he had missed out on a lot of things. Intermediate blind box. Random lottery chance. Look carefully. It's a random lottery chance. This is not a beginner lucky lottery chance. Just thinking about it made Wang Mang's heart ache. Naturally, Lord Hushan did not know all of this. Seeing Wang Mang ignore him, Lord Hushan mistakenly thought that Wang Mang was chasing him away. As a result, he laughed awkwardly, and after exchanging a few more pleasantries with Wang Mang, he finally bid farewell and left Wang Mang's lair. Regarding Lord Hushan's departure, Wang Mang did not have much of a reaction. He was still immersed in his heartache. The feeling of not being able to obtain such a generous reward was like falling out of love. At this time, the system's voice rang again, ding. Based on the host's current situation, the host can choose from the following missions. Mission 1. Facing the Treant King's pursuit. Swallow the humiliation and ignore it. Mission time. Choose to receive the reward. Mission reward. 20 million evolution points. Mission 2. Facing the Treant King's pursuit. Counterattack regardless of success or failure. Mission time. Within 3 days. Mission reward. 60 million evolution points. Mission 3. Facing the Treant King's pursuit. Kill the Treant King in anger. Mission time, within 5 days. Mission reward, 100 million evolution points. Intermediate blind box X2. Random lottery chance X2. Oh. Chapter 111. Hearing the Wong system's voice again. And the same mission was issued again. Wong Mang was completely stunned. This was the first time he encountered this kind of situation. But this time, the mission reward increased again. Moreover, it increased by several times. The rewards for all 3 missions were doubled. Thinking about this, Wong Mang was truly stunned. He did not understand what the system was doing. This was forcing him to fight the Treant King. After understanding the problem, Wong Mang was simply speechless. He never thought that the system would encourage him to fight the Treant King. The reward was doubled. This made Wong Mang feel that his dignity was being insulted. The system was blatantly humiliating him. Was it using evolution points to smash him? Was he that kind of person? Did he really think that he was a money grubber? The system was looking down on him. Thinking about this, Wong Mang resisted the urge to bleed in his heart and once again made his choice. His voice trembled as he said, "System, I choose the first mission." After saying this, Wong Mang felt that he was about to suffocate. It was as if all his strength had been drained. At this moment, Wong Mang could clearly feel how much heartache he felt. At the same time, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. Mission completed. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have obtained 20 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wong Mang felt bitter in his heart. He felt a huge sense of loss in his heart. He had truly missed out on hundreds of millions of evolution points. There were also 2 intermediate blind boxes, 2 random lucky draws. What made Wong Mang feel slightly gratified was that the system had given him the same mission twice. In an instant, he had obtained 30 million evolution points for free. In addition to his original accumulation, he could definitely evolve again. Thinking about this, Wong Mang's huge sense of loss lessened a lot. Moreover, in order to numb his heartache, Wong Mang impatiently prepared to evolve. This was because the system's mission made Wong Mang understand a principle. When he was not strong enough, no matter how generous the mission rewards were, he would not be able to obtain them. Therefore, Wong Mang's desire to increase his strength became unprecedentedly strong. He didn't want to encounter such a situation again. It was simply too painful to not dare to accept a mission with such a generous reward. With that in mind, Wong Mang said in his heart, "System, use the one-fold evolution card. Begin evolution." The next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded again. Ding! Congratulations, you have successfully used the one-fold evolution card. Ding! Congratulations, host. After using 1% evolution card, you will need 52 million evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host. 52 million evolution points deducted. Beginning evolution. After the evolution began, Wong Mang completely lost consciousness. It wasn't until 2 hours later that Wong Mang regained consciousness. The first thing Wong Mang did when he woke up was to observe his body. His body had changed a lot. Perhaps it had increased by a few more meters. Thinking up to this point, Wong Mang silently said, "System, open my personal information." The next moment, his personal information appeared in front of his eyes. Host, Wong Mang type, deep sea python status, adult cultivation, 2,800 years body, 54 meters long, 9 meters wide, 27,000 kilograms weight fighting strength, 27,000 kilograms bite force, 94 kilometers per hour skills, death coil, corrosive poison, skin camouflage, steel body, super healing, water breathing, bloodthirsty rage, 10,000 beast deterrent special, storage space, information detection, one-fold evolution card divine ability, King's Slavery Shopping Center, unlocked evolution points, 16 million/1, 04 billion. After looking at his personal information, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. Now, his cultivation had already reached 2,800 years. He was only 700 years away from the 3,500 years of cultivation of the Tranquil King. Other than that, his body length had reached 54 meters. His body width had reached 4 meters. His weight had reached 27,000 kilograms. That was 27 tons. His bite force had reached 27,000 kilograms. It was still 27 tons. Other than his speed, that did not increase. His other attributes had increased. Wang Mang could not do anything about his speed attribute. In his overall strength, his speed was the hardest to increase. Every time he evolved, his other attributes would increase to a certain extent. Other than that, Wang Mang, who did not accept the mission, was in a very bad mood. Because he did not accept the reward mission, he looked at the amount of evolution points he needed for his next evolution. He wanted to cry, but no tears came out. 1.04 billion evolution points. How many pigs did he have to eat? Even if he ate 10,000 pigs every day, he would earn 5 million evolution points every day. He would need at least 200 days. A total of 200 days. Wang Mang definitely did not have the patience. After all, Wang Mang's personality was rather impatient. He did not have the patience to slowly develop. Thinking about this, Wang Mang's joy from completing his evolution immediately disappeared. Just as Wang Mang was having a headache about the future evolution, the system's voice sounded again. Ding. According to the host's current situation, the following missions will be given to the host to choose from. Mission 1. Face the Tranquil King's pursuit. Swallow the humiliation and ignore it. Mission time. Choose to receive the reward mission reward. 20 million evolution points. Mission 2. Face the Tranquil King's pursuit. Counterattack regardless of success or failure mission time. Within 6 days mission reward. 600 million evolution points. Mission 3. Face the Tranquil King's pursuit. Kill the Tranquil King in anger. Mission time. Within 10 days mission reward. 1 billion evolution points. Intermediate blind box X3. Random lottery X3. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was once again stunned. This was the third time the system gave him the same mission. However, after looking at the rewards of the 3 missions, Wang Mang was immediately unhappy. The rewards of the 3 missions had changed. This was because the reward of the first mission did not change. However, the reward of the second mission increased by 10 times. The evolution points of the third mission also increased by 10 times. No, when the first mission appeared, Mission 2, Mission 3, originally, the reward was only 30 million and 50 million. Now, it had become 600 million and 1 billion evolution points. That's 20 times more than before. But why did the first mission increase by 2 times? It should have also increased by 20 times. It should have been at least 200 million evolution points. This was the reason why Wang Mang was angry, although he was surprised that the mission appeared again. However, since it appeared again, he still wanted to freeload. But what was the meaning of the system? The second and third missions increased the reward by 20 times. Only the first mission's reward was still 20 million evolution points. Under his anger, Wang Mang asked in his heart, "System, why is the first mission still 20 million evolution points? Did you make a mistake? It should have increased by 20 times. The first mission should have given me 200 million evolution points." In the next moment, the system's familiar voice echoed, detected that the host is freeloading. The system has repaired and changed the reward. The final explanation belongs to the system. After hearing the system's explanation, Wang Mang almost couldn't hold back his tears. The system did not want him to freeload anymore. Moreover, the system did not only reject his idea of freeloading. Additionally, the system was also forcing him to fight the Tranquil King with his life. Thus, the reward of the mission had increased by 20 times. At this moment, Wang Mang's mind was in chaos. This was because the reward this time was too generous. Chapter 112. This caused Wang Mang to suddenly recall something his father had once said. When the benefits are enough, I will trample on all the green in the world. Naturally, although Wang Mang's personality was similar to his father's, he had changed after dying once. It could be said that Wang Mang was weak or cowardly, but Wang Mang was more afraid of death than before. Thus, Wang Mang once again fell into a dilemma. The second and third missions given by the system were extremely dangerous. However, facing such a generous reward, Wang Mang could not refuse. That's right, he had already rejected him twice. This time, the system's reward directly told him, as long as he killed the Treant King, he could evolve again. 1 billion evolution points. There was no system's reward. If he wanted to rely on himself, it would be too slow. Thinking to this point, Wang Mang bitterly smiled. He finally understood the classic saying of society. There was no such thing as a chaste woman. The reason why she was unwilling to open her legs. The main reason was that the money you spent was not enough. Under the system's pressure, Wang Mang was like a chaste woman and opened his legs in the end. Stealing his heart, Wang Mang made up his mind and said in his heart, "System, I choose mission 3. In the next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded. Ding. Congratulations, host. Successfully chosen mission. Host, please quickly complete the mission to obtain the reward. After the system's voice ended, Wang Mang could not help but let out a sigh of relief. Then, Wang Mang bitterly smiled at his heart. His legs were still smashed open by the system's reward. The cowardly Wang Mang, who bullied the weak and feared the strong, was finally brave for once. Right now, he could only seize the opportunity and quickly increase his strength in these 10 days. He even needed to increase his strength to the point where he could contend against the Treant King. He needed to evolve twice. Moreover, only after evolving twice would he be able to fight the Treant King with all his might. This was because his cultivation was only at 2,800 years. After 2 evolutions, his cultivation would probably reach the level of a demon king. At that time, the gap between him and the Treant King would be minimized. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt a little more confident. If it wasn't for the third mission, which had a time limit of 10 days, he might have been able to give it a try. Wang Mang would definitely reject this mission again. 10 days was enough. If things went as smoothly as before, it was easy for him to evolve twice in 10 days. With this thought, Wang Mang's worries dissipated. This feeling was as if all the troubles had suddenly disappeared. I can definitely do it. I will evolve 2 more times in 10 days. After killing the Treant King, I don't think I will get many evolution points. However, the 3 blind boxes that I obtain will definitely give me something good. Alright, there's still 3 more chances for the random draw. It shouldn't disappoint me, right? Thinking of this, Wang Mang took a look at the pouring rain outside the nest. Then, he fell into a deep sleep. At night, Wang Mang came out of the nest. However, what made Wang Mang speechless was that the weather at night was still not good. The pouring rain did not seem to have any intention of stopping. It had already rained for 2 days and 2 nights. He really did not know how long this rain would last. Thinking of this, Wang Mang secretly shook his head. He moved his huge body and began to rush towards the farm. After arriving at the farm, Wang Mang ate another 10,000 pigs, earning him another 8 million evolution points. In truth, Wang Mang did not expect to have pigs to eat today. This was because the rain these 2 days was too heavy. Wang Mang also did not expect that his father would still eat 10,000 pigs every day, regardless of rain or shine. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's mood became better. Only then did he leave the farm. Just like before, he went to the reservoir to take a bath. Then, he patrolled the reservoir. However, what made Wang Mang surprised was that the rain these days was really fierce. He could actually feel that the reservoir's water level had increased a bit. Naturally, the weather did not affect Wang Mang that much. On the contrary, the number of people fishing during the day had decreased. This was because in this kind of rainy weather, people with no brains would not fish. After patrolling the area, Wang Mang returned to the shore and returned to his nest. On the 3rd night, it was still raining heavily. Compared to the previous 2 days, today's rain did not decrease. Instead, it was even heavier. Looking at the signs, it seemed like it would rain for a few days. To be honest, this kind of weather was rarely seen. However, the rain did not affect Wang Mang's mood. Just like before, when he came to the farm, he ate another 10,000 pigs. He easily obtained 488 million evolution points. After eating the pigs, Wang Mang shuttled through the forest. He was too lazy to patrol the area. However, when Wang Mang arrived at the reservoir, he saw a shocking scene in the distant sky. He saw that in the distant night sky, lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. Wang Mang could faintly see a huge monster flying in the sky. At the same time, the lightning in the sky was as thick as a thunder dragon, crazily striking the unknown creature in the sky. This scene lasted for 3 hours. Then, the lightning in the sky completely disappeared. At the same time, Wang Mang could faintly see that the unknown creature seemed to have fallen from the sky. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang still did not know what this thing was. However, Wang Mang knew that this thing was not to be trifled with. It could actually fly. Moreover, why did the heavens keep striking it? Thinking about this, Wang Mang was even more puzzled. What the hell is this thing? Could it be that a dragon is undergoing a tribulation? Wang Mang thought about it and felt that it was impossible. It was impossible for a dragon to exist on Earth. The system had said that this world did not allow it. What kind of fellow Taoist was undergoing a tribulation here? Just when Wang Mang was puzzled, the system rang out. The system's familiar voice sounded. Ding. Detected that the host has accidentally discovered the Flood Dragon King. The host is given the following choices. Mission 1. Choose to ignore the Flood Dragon King that is about to fall. Mission time. Choose to obtain. Mission reward. 10 million evolution points. Mission 2. Go to the Flood Dragon King that is about to fall and join in the fun to pass time. Mission time. Within 1 day mission reward. 30 million evolution points. Mission 3. Go to the Flood Dragon King that is about to fall and devour it. Mission time. Within 1 day mission reward. 50 million evolution points. Random blind box X1. Random lottery X1. Chapter 113. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned. He even suspected that he had heard wrongly. The one transcending the tribulation in the sky was a Flood Dragon King? But weren't there very few monster kings? How powerful must this Flood Dragon King be to dare to transcend the tribulation so crazily? Although he had seen the ending earlier, the Flood Dragon King had probably failed to transcend the tribulation. But how terrifying was its strength? Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but secretly click his tongue. In addition, listening to the system's explanation, this Flood Dragon King that had failed to transcend the tribulation was about to die. Wang Mang's eyes couldn't help but light up. Then he became a little excited. The system was asking him to pick up the scraps, and to pick up a Flood Dragon King. To be honest, Wang Mang was still very afraid of flood dragons. Not to mention a Flood Dragon King. Just thinking about it, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel a little excited. If he really picked up a Flood Dragon King and ate it, how many benefits would he get? Just thinking about it, Wang Mang didn't dare to imagine, and he couldn't help but feel his blood boil. System, I choose the third mission. Obviously, Wang Mang had already made his decision. Now, there was a Flood Dragon King that was transcending the tribulation. And it was a Flood Dragon King that had failed to transcend the tribulation and was about to die. With it in front of him, it would be strange if Wang Mang didn't have any thoughts. Moreover, Wang Mang had never seen a Flood Dragon King before, and he also wanted to see this legendary Flood Dragon. The next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded frowny-faced. Ding. Congratulations, host. You have chosen the mission successfully. Please complete the mission as soon as possible to obtain the corresponding reward. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang couldn't wait any longer. He moved his huge body and rushed towards the place where the Flood Dragon King was transcending the tribulation. Because Wang Mang was worried that if too much time passed, the Flood Dragon King would die and be divided by other animals. After all, a WIRM king was extremely tempting to both monsters and top-notch ferocious beasts. Because once they ate the Flood Dragon King's meat, even ordinary beasts would be able to become spirits. Needless to say, a WIRM king at the level of a demon king was very attractive to demons. Therefore, Wang Mang ran very fast. He moved his huge body and rampaged through the forest like a ferocious dragon crossing the river. Along the way, wherever he passed, Wang Mang smashed through countless trees in the forest. At the same time, what Wang Mang didn't know was that he wasn't the only one rushing over. It should be said that the demons and great demons in this area had also heard the news and moved. In addition, Wang Mang did not expect that in another direction. The slow-moving Treant King was also rushing towards the location of the Flood Dragon King's tribulation. It could be said that all the important people living in this province were attracted. 5 hours later, Wang Mang finally arrived near the place where the Flood Dragon King underwent his tribulation. When Wang Mang entered the territory, he was completely stunned. The trees in the nearby forest were all scorched by the lightning. Apart from that, there were too many demons in this territory. The moment Wang Mang entered this territory, he could feel the soaring demonic aura. Even on a rainy day, he could easily sense the tyrannical aura. Apart from that, Wang Mang also saw many different kinds of demons. There were too many of them. He saw many demons gathered on both sides of a large river in the distance. There were so many of them that, at a glance, there were definitely thousands of them. That was because not only did the demons come, but many ferocious beasts in the forest also came. Countless large ferocious beasts in the mountains gathered their gazes by the river. That was because that was where the Flood Dragon King was. In addition, the Flood Dragon King was too big. It was a scarlet Flood Dragon King. The front half of his body was weakly lying on the riverbank, while the tail half was submerged in the river. However, just the front half of the Flood Dragon King's body that was exposed was more than 60 meters long. In addition, the Flood Dragon King's head looked ferocious and was extremely huge. His head was more than 10 meters wide. In addition, this so-called Flood Dragon was indeed a creature that resembled a dragon the most. That was because this Flood Dragon King had a pair of fleshy horns on his head. Also, there was a pair of 3-fingered claws under his body. Obviously, this Flood Dragon King's cultivation was very high. He already looked like a dragon. Wang Mang also made a rough estimate in his heart. This Flood Dragon King's body should be more than 130 meters long. This was the first time in Wang Mang's history that he had seen a legendary flood dragon. At the same time, it was also the largest creature he had ever seen in his history. This fellow was 2F* king big. It was outrageously big. In front of this flood dragon, even a dinosaur was not enough. Even Wang Mang, who had always been confident, after seeing the Flood Dragon King's huge body, he felt a little guilty. That was because the difference between Wang Mang and the other party was like the difference between a small snake and a giant python. Another thing worth mentioning was, this Scarlet Flood Dragon King's body was covered in wounds. Obviously, this Flood Dragon King was charred on the outside and tender on the inside, and his flesh was badly mutilated. Under his body lying by the river, there was a lot of scarlet blood flowing. Vaguely, Wang Mang could see that this big fellow was panting like an ox. It was as if this Flood Dragon King was about to die. However, it clearly looked like this Flood Dragon King was about to die. However, a large number of demons and ferocious beasts gathered on both sides of the river were still so afraid that they stopped moving forward. Obviously, as long as the Flood Dragon King did not completely close his eyes, no demons would dare to move forward. One had to know that there were too many demons gathered on both sides of the river. There were also as many great demons as there were hairs on an ox. In fact, many of the great demons were a threat to Wang Mang. However, these great demons and ferocious beasts did not dare to approach. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang could not help but feel a headache in his heart. How was he going to complete this mission? He thought that it was a very simple mission. However, the result was beyond Wang Mang's expectations. He did not expect that the Flood Dragon King's failure to transcend the tribulation would attract so many demons in such a short period of time. Just the number of intelligent demons and great demons was enough to give Wang Mang a headache. Not only that, Wang Mang also noticed a scene that left him astonished. A few kilometers away, on the riverbank, there were actually two super behemoths fighting. These two super behemoths were fighting. One of them was a stone monster that was more than 100 meters tall and was made of countless rocks. The other was even more dumbfounding. It was actually a huge turtle the size of a mountain. These two fellows were too big. They were so big that it subverted Wang Mang's understanding. Clearly, these two big fellows were definitely existences on the same level as the Flood Dragon King. In fact, Wang Mang guessed that all the demon kings of a province had come. Oh no, there was still one that had not come. It was Wang Mang's sworn enemy, the Tree Demon King. At this moment, Wang Mang vaguely heard a huge commotion behind him. Puzzled, Wang Mang turned around to look. He saw that in the distant forest, a towering tree that was more than 100 meters tall was moving towards him. Wasn't that the Tree Demon King? For a moment, Wang Mang subconsciously wanted to turn around and run. Chapter 114. Wang Mang didn't expect it either. Just as he mentioned the King Tree Demon, the King Tree Demon appeared. To be honest, Wang Mang was really surprised when he saw the King Tree Demon. He didn't expect that this big guy would be so slow, but it actually arrived. After observing for a while, Wang Mang gave up the urge to turn around and escape. The main thing was that the King Tree Demon's speed was really unflattering. According to Wang Mang's guess, even if this guy went all out, it wouldn't be able to catch up to him. However, what made Wang Mang's head hurt was that there were already 3 monster kings. Would he still have a share in the dying Flood Dragon King? In fact, it wasn't just Wang Mang who thought so. Many of the great demons who came to the scene also thought so. The great demons who originally wanted to get a share of the pie. Seeing that the 4 great demons of a province had arrived, they couldn't help but feel a little helpless. Because if these monster kings arrived, it would be too difficult for them to get a share of the pie. Unless they weren't afraid of death and swarmed forward, they would be lucky enough to get a piece of meat. Otherwise, it would be impossible for them to snatch food from the tiger's mouth. At this moment, among the sea of great demons on the riverbank in the distance, after Lord Hushan saw the King Tree Demon, he also inadvertently saw Wang Mang. His eyes lit up, and he immediately left the group of demons and rushed towards Wang Mang. At the same time, the King Tree Demon, who was rushing over, also saw Wang Mang in the distance. However, he didn't have time to pay attention to Wang Mang and went straight for the dying Flood Dragon King. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang heaved a sigh of relief, but at the same time, he was speechless. It seemed that the King Tree Demon didn't take him seriously at all. Thinking of this, Wang Mang gritted his teeth. He couldn't wait to kill the King Tree Demon right now. If he could kill the King Tree Demon right now, then the harvest would definitely be very bountiful. When the time came, if he evolved again, his cultivation would be able to reach the Monster King level. Of course, that was a good idea, but there was no chance for the time being. However, when it came to opportunities, Wang Mang's eyes lit up, because there were already 3 demon kings, including the Flood Dragon King who was about to die. In other words, Wang Mang's province. There were only 4 demon monarchs. However, the problem was that it was one thing for 2 demon monarchs to fight over the Flood Dragon King. How were the 3 demon kings supposed to fight? Thinking of this, Wang Mang was instantly overjoyed. He guessed that this battle would be more complicated than he had imagined. After all, there were a total of 4 demon monarchs. The WYRM king was about to perish, and the other 3 demon monarchs wanted to eat him. That was where the problem lay. Who would become the Flood Dragon King? Wang Mang knew that it was impossible for him to complete the mission. However, Wang Mang still wanted to see who the Flood Dragon King would end up in. If the Trant King was severely injured during the fight for the Flood Dragon King. Thinking of this, Wang Mang began to look forward to it. At the same time, Lord Hushan, who had already rushed over, immediately smiled at Wang Mang and said, "Brother Giant Python, you're here too?" Hearing this, Wang Mang nodded indifferently. Then, he couldn't help but remind him, "Brother Hushan, you have to be careful." Hearing Wang Mang's words, Lord Hushan laughed and said, "Brother Giant Python, you don't know. How would I dare to have any ideas about the Flood Dragon King? The Flood Dragon King is destined to belong to the other 3 demon kings. This time, I'm here to pick some weak demons to deal with." After saying this, Lord Hushan was a little embarrassed. However, when Wang Mang heard this, his eyes also lit up. That's right. Since he couldn't complete the mission, he could at least get some greater demons to make up for it. Moreover, greater demons were worth a lot of money. A greater demon with 1,000 years of cultivation was worth 5 million evolution points. However, the number of greater demons that had gathered was not small at all. Wang Mang casually estimated that there were at least 100 greater demons. Thinking about this, Wang Mang immediately became happy and had an idea. If not for Lord Hushan's reminder, he wouldn't have thought of this. Thinking about this, Wang Mang immediately looked at the group of demons in the distance. However, what made Wang Mang speechless was that for some reason, the demons actually started fighting on a large scale. In fact, what Wang Mang didn't know was that most of the greater demons that came to join the fun had the same idea. They already knew that they wouldn't get a share of the Flood Dragon King. Instead, they set their sights on the greater demons that were also attracted. Seeing the chaos, Lord Hushan immediately said, "Brother Giant Python, I'll be busy first." With that, he hurriedly rushed to the riverside where the group of demons were. Seeing this, Wang Mang was speechless. "You, a greater demon with 1,000 years of cultivation, dare to have ideas about other greater demons?" Of course, Wang Mang didn't care about this guy. Similarly, Wang Mang also moved his huge body and rushed to the shore of the river. At the same time, the Tree Demon King appeared on the other side. The Tree Demon King rushed straight to the Flood Dragon King. This immediately caused the other 2 Demon Kings to stop fighting. These 2 Demon Kings came up one after another and attacked the Tree Demon King. Not only that, these 2 greater demons were also very tacit as they attacked the Tree Demon King. This also caused the Tree Demon King to turn pale with fright. He didn't expect these 2 guys to attack him together. However, what the Tree Demon King didn't know was that this time, it was really doomed. That was because Demon King Stone and Demon King Turtle had already secretly joined forces. Because one Flood Dragon King was not enough. Therefore, Demon King Stone and Demon King Turtle were not only waiting for the Flood Dragon King to die. At the same time, they were also waiting for the Tree Demon King to appear. In an instant, the 3 Demon Kings fought. The battle was about to start. It wasn't just the 3 Demon Kings fighting. Wang Mang was also watching the battle of the group of demons. When he saw a ferocious giant ox-headed demon crash a boar demon to death, Wang Mang's eyes lit up, and he immediately ran over. At the same time, he shouted excitedly, "Fellow Taoist Nyo, wait, this demon is fated to be with me." Hearing this, the ox-headed demon, who was more than 10 meters tall, was stunned and somewhat puzzled. In the next moment, what made this puzzled ox-headed demon extremely angry was Wang Mang actually quickly swallowed the wild boar demon in front of him. "You!" The ox-headed demon widened his eyes in anger. At the same time, the system's voice sounded in Wang Mang's mind, frowny-facing. "Congratulations, host. Swallowed a 1,200-year-old wild boar demon. Obtained 5 million evolution points." After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was even more elated. After coming back to his senses, facing the angry ox-headed demon, Wang Mang immediately threatened, "What did you say?" At the same time, Wang Mang directly used the skill 10,000 Beast Deterrence on the ox-headed demon. The originally angry ox-headed demon suddenly trembled. He suddenly had an inexplicable sense of fear towards Wang Mang. After waking up, the ox-headed demon could feel the terrifying and fatal threat from Wang Mang's body. This undoubtedly proved that the guy in front of him who stole his spoils of war had a very terrifying cultivation. Helplessly, the ox-headed demon wanted to say something but hesitated. In the end, he sullenly closed his mouth. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. He was about to beat the ox-headed demon a few words. However, Wang Mang inadvertently saw a scene that made his eyes light up. He saw a cheetah demon being bitten to death by a tiger demon in the distance. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang did not care about the ox-headed demon anymore. He hurriedly moved his body and rushed over. At the same time, he excitedly shouted, "Fellow, quickly stop! This demon is my friend." Chapter 115. At this moment, the tiger demon was extremely proud, especially when he saw the cheetah demon that he had bitten to death. He felt an indescribable sense of accomplishment. The feeling of killing a demon of the same level made his blood boil. Of course, he was a 1,600-year-old demon. Killing a 1,400-year-old cheetah demon gave him an advantage. However, it had to be said that his strength was very tyrannical, because in a situation where the difference in cultivation was not large, it was very difficult to kill an existence of the same level. However, he had done it. One could imagine that his strength was very good among the demons. Just as he was about to enjoy his spoils of war, he heard a voice, "Fellow Taoist, please stop. This demon is my friend." Hearing this voice, the tiger demon jumped in fright. He hurriedly looked to the side and saw a scene that made him tremble in fear. A super giant python great demon that was over 50 meters long was rushing towards them. This immediately scared the tiger demon into turning around and running away. Clearly, he thought that Wang Mang was coming for him. After all, Wang Mang had just shouted that the leopard demon was his friend. Moreover, Wang Mang's body was too big. His cultivation definitely surpassed his by far. Thus, to be careful, he had to run first. However, in the next moment, a scene that made him dumbstruck happened. He saw that the giant python demon did not pay attention to him. On the contrary, it directly swallowed his prey, the giant cheetah demon. At the same time, in Wang Mang's mind, the system's voice sounded again, frowny-facing. "Congratulations, host. Devoured 1,400-year-old cheetah demon. Obtained 6 million evolution points." After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. Not bad. How long had it been? He had already earned 10 million evolution points. In the distance, the great tiger demon stared at Wang Mang with his mouth agape. Even if he was stupid, he still reacted. This giant python demon did not recognize the cheetah demon at all. They were here to snatch his spoils of war. Furthermore, he shamelessly claimed that cheetah was his friend. Who would treat their friends like this? Were friends meant to be eaten? At the thought of this, great tiger demon looked at Wang Mang with resentment. Of course, he did not dare to make a move, nor did he dare to provoke Wang Mang, because Wang Mang's body was too huge and his cultivation was too high. He simply couldn't afford to offend them. Therefore, the tiger demon was like the ox demon. She could only stare at Wang Mang's departing figure with sullen eyes. Of course, Wang Mang left again because he saw that he could pick up some scraps. A super giant bear great demon had killed a crocodile great demon. Upon seeing this, Wang Mang immediately stepped forward and shouted excitedly, "Fellow Taoist, please stop. This crocodile demon is my friend." Hearing this, the super giant bear demon that was about to eat looked up and saw Wang Mang rushing towards him. It was also shocked. He was only a little more than 10 meters tall. It was also a 1,000-years-old great demon. Now, it had finally killed this 20 meters long crocodile great demon with great difficulty. Just as it was about to eat, it saw Wang Mang arrive. What a guy. When they saw Wang Mang's 50-meter-long super python, they were shocked. It was so scared that it immediately dodged and ran far away. This also made Wang Mang happy. Once again, he effortlessly ate another 20 meters long crocodile great demon. The system's voice sounded again, ding. "Congratulations, host. successfully devoured 1,500 years old crocodile, great demon, obtained 5 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. At the same time, he threw a "at least you know what's good for you" look at the super giant bear that was staring at him with a dumbstruck expression. Soon after, Wang Mang became the porter that cleaned up the battlefield. Following the same pattern, he devoured 10 great demons in succession. This allowed Wang Mang to obtain 70 million evolution points. At the same time, the great demons present all knew about Wang Mang. Many of the great demons that had their prey stolen even more hated Wang Mang to the point that they gnashed their teeth. Because this supergiant python was simply too hateful. It clearly could have hunted by itself, but it just had to steal. Wang Mang didn't care about these guys' hatred at all. If he went hunting by himself, how could it be faster than picking up ready-made prey? Also, the great demons that couldn't beat him might just turn around and run. Therefore, from Wang Mang's point of view, fighting was clearly not worth it. It was more comfortable to take advantage of the situation. Just as Wang Mang was about to continue cleaning up the battlefield, suddenly, he heard an earth-shattering scream. Wang Mang immediately looked over and saw a scene that made him go wild with joy. He saw that the 3 demon kings were fighting on the shore of the river in the distance. The tree demon king's body was actually broken in half by the 100-meter-tall stone demon king. The tree demon king's 100-meter-tall body was broken in half by the stone demon king and the turtle demon king. In an instant, the green blood in the tree demon king's body spilled all over the ground. At the same time, the tree demon king couldn't help but turn around and run. What made Wang Mang flabbergasted was that the tree demon king that wanted to run away had its broken roots bitten by the turtle demon king. At the same time, the 100-meter-tall stone demon king also used its remaining stone arm to hug the tree demon king. Under the suppression of the two of them, the tree demon king was simply miserable. In particular, many of its roots and vines were torn clean by the stone demon king. Therefore, the tree demon king's miserable screams could be said to be endless. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. The stone demon king was too powerful. The turtle demon king, that was like a mountain, was also very savage. These two guys' bodies were too tough and tyrannical. One was completely made of stone. The other had a turtle shell that was as huge as a mountain. The tree demon king couldn't beat these two guys at all. Under the cooperation of the two, the tree demon king was beaten even more miserably. At the same time, the tree demon king's original body that was more than 100 meters tall. Now, only a small section of its roots that was more than 10 meters tall was left. However, this also allowed the Treant King's speed to become incomparably agile. The tree demon king's body that was left with only a section of its roots and trunk moved quickly on the ground, running towards the forest in the distance. In addition, the turtle demon king and the stone demon king didn't choose to chase after it. Instead, they stopped. At the same time, the turtle demon king was eating the broken parts of the tree demon king's body with relish. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang suddenly became excited. Without saying anything, he chased after the tree demon king in the direction that it escaped. Originally, the tree demon king's original body was more than 100 meters tall. Now, it was beaten until only its trunk that was more than 10 meters tall was left. Obviously, it had suffered an unprecedented heavy injury. Under such circumstances, Wang Mang didn't need to be afraid of the tree demon king. Therefore, Wang Mang directly gave up on these big monsters and the flood dragon king, and began to chase after the tree demon king. 2 hours later, at this moment, the sky was already bright. In a mountain forest, Wang Mang's huge body rampaged through the forest. He was now chasing after the tree demon king that was fleeing for its life in front of him. What made Wang Mang feel a little helpless was that the tree demon king was indeed worthy of being a demon king. It was only left with its original body that was more than 10 meters tall, but it was running very fast. Therefore, Wang Mang had been following closely behind. Of course, in the process of chasing after the tree demon king, Wang Mang was so excited that he didn't feel the slightest bit tired, because now, the status of the two sides had undergone a shocking reversal. Wang Mang used to be an ant, in front of the Tree Demon King. He could only run away, but now, Wang Mang had become a hunter. He was also chasing the Tree Demon King until it was running for its life. Chapter 116. Aha! Old thing, don't run if you dare. I'm going to fight you for 300 rounds. Aha! Stop if you dare. Don't run. That's it. Aren't you the King Tree Demon? Why are you running? King Tree Demon. Come and kill me. Aren't you the Demon King? Come and kill me. I'm so scared. At this moment, Wang Mang, who was chasing from behind, couldn't help but shout excitedly. The King Tree Demon, who was running for his life in front of him. He was almost angered to death by Wang Mang's words. He had never seen such a shameless person. This guy didn't care about martial ethics at all. His vitality was greatly damaged, and he needed a heal. But this guy immediately jumped out to kill him. And he even said that he wanted to fight him for 300 rounds? How could there be such a shameless demon if he really wanted to fight him for 300 rounds? This damn guy, why did he run away in the first place? At this moment, the King Tree Demon felt very aggrieved. He never thought that he would be chased by this ant one day, if his strength was still at its peak. He simply wanted to tear apart this shameless Wang Mang. But he was helpless because his condition was too bad. Greatly damaged vitality wasn't enough to describe his injuries. Therefore, in the face of Wang Mang's provocation, the King Tree Demon suppressed his anger and turned a deaf ear. In the next moment, Wang Mang's extremely arrogant voice came from behind him again. Old thing, don't run if you dare. I'll beat the shit out of you. Hearing this, the King Tree Demon flew into a rage, but he still silently suppressed his anger and ran for his life. Seeing this, Wang Mang didn't care and continued to chase the King Tree Demon crazily. It wasn't easy for him to catch such a rare opportunity. Wang Mang naturally wouldn't let go no matter what. For a moment, the King Tree Demon fled for his life. Wang Mang chased after him crazily. After another 3 hours, Wang Mang finally caught up with the King Tree Demon. This was because the Treant King was hiding in a cave. He thought he could hide from Wang Mang, but Wang Mang found him. This way, Wang Mang was simply catching a turtle in a jar. At this moment, Wang Mang couldn't help but laugh in excitement. This was because the Treant King had nowhere to run. Now, the Treant King was completely trapped in the cave by him. That was why Wang Mang was so excited. If the Treant King continued to run away frantically, Wang Mang really couldn't catch up in a short period of time. Now, after several hours, he had finally caught up with her. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt even more proud. At the same time, in the depths of the cave, the Treant King stared at Wang Mang in shock and anger. He had already been chased by Wang Mang for several hours. He had already lost 80% of his cultivation. Naturally, less than 1/10 of his strength remained. Otherwise, he definitely wouldn't have chosen to run for his life. But what the Treant King didn't even dream of was, he had escaped from the siege of the Stone Demon King and the Turtle Demon King. In the end, he was chased by the former ant to the point where he had nowhere to go. Thinking of this, the Treant King felt extremely sad. This was the legendary saying, when a tiger falls to the plains, it will be bullied by dogs, right? At this moment, Wang Mang, who had already entered the cave, looked at the Treant King in the depths of the cave proudly. He moved his huge body and kept getting closer. At the same time, he laughed proudly. Why don't you continue to run? You can't run away, right? Treant King, are you in despair now? Seeing that the furious Treant King still didn't say a word, Wang Mang said proudly, how about this? Don't say that I'm bullying you. Use all your strength to fight with me. If you're lucky enough to beat me in one move, then I'll spare your old life. Hearing this, the Treant King finally couldn't take it anymore. He said with a ferocious expression, if I was still in my peak condition, would you dare to be so presumptuous in front of me? Hearing this, Wang Mang sneered proudly. I was just going easy on you back then. If I had made a move back then, I would have killed you, old thing. You? The Trant King was so angry that he couldn't speak. At this moment, Wang Mang didn't want to waste any more time. He felt that there was no sense of accomplishment in bullying noobs. If he wanted to kill this Trant King, he could do it with his hands. In high spirits, Wang Mang opened his bloody mouth and bit the Trant King. Then, as the Trant King screamed in pain, he killed the Trant King. This process was simply too fast. It was so fast that Wang Mang felt that it wasn't over yet. In his lofty sentiments, Wang Mang really wanted to say, I still want to fight 10 demon kings. After the excitement, Wang Mang gradually calmed down. Then, Wang Mang swallowed the Trant King into his stomach. Wang Mang simply couldn't describe the feeling of swallowing a tree. After Wang Mang swallowed the Trant King, the system's familiar voice sounded in his mind, frowny-faced Ding. Congratulations, host. Successfully swallowed the heavily injured Trant King. Obtained 50 million evolution points. Ding. Congratulations, host. Successfully completed the quest. Obtained 1 billion evolution points. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 3 intermediate blind boxes. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 3 random lottery chances. Ding. Congratulations, host. You have accumulated enough evolution points to evolve. Do you wish to evolve? No. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was simply bursting with joy. He never thought that he wouldn't be able to complete the quest of swallowing the Flood Dragon King. Instead, he was lucky enough to complete the quest of killing the Trant King. Now, Wang Mang could evolve again. Thinking about this, Wang Mang was simply too excited. No, I have to quickly evolve. I have to completely reach the level of a Demon King. Thinking about this, Wang Mang immediately moved his huge body and began to rush back to his home. 3 hours later, Wang Mang returned to his home territory. Moreover, it was daytime and it was raining cats and dogs. Thus, Wang Mang was not exposed. After returning to his home, Wang Mang curled up into a ball and muttered, System, open my personal information first. This was because Wang Mang wanted to see how much he had gained this time. In the next moment, his personal information appeared in front of his eyes. Host, Wang Mang type, Deep Sea Giant Python status, Adult cultivation, 2,800 years body, 54 meters long, 9 meters wide, 27,000 kilograms weight fighting strength, 27,000 kilograms bite force, 94 kilometers per hour skills, death coil, corrosive poison, skin camouflage, steel body, super healing, water breathing, bloodthirsty fury, 10,000 beast deterrent special, storage space, information detection, 10% evolution card, intermediate blind box X3, random lottery chances X3 divine ability, kings. Slavery shopping center, unlocked evolution points, 1, 15 billion/1, 0, 4 billion. After looking at his personal information, Wang Mang inwardly nodded his head in satisfaction. His harvest this time was very bountiful. He had obtained over 100 million evolution points. Thinking about this, Wang Mang's mood became even better. He felt that his harvest this time was too worth it. Thinking about this, Wang Mang happily said, System, begin evolving. In the next moment, the system's familiar voice echoed, frowny-faced Ding. 1.04 billion evolution points have been successfully deducted. Beginning evolution. Chapter 117. In the next moment, the system's familiar voice resounded, Ding. Successfully deducted 1.04 billion evolution points. Beginning evolution. Following this, Wang Mang completely lost consciousness. 2 hours later, after the evolution was complete, only then did Wang Mang wake up from his evolution. After waking up, Wang Mang first observed his body. First, his body had naturally increased by a lot. Right now, his body had increased by a few meters. Wang Mang was not surprised at all. Every time he evolved, his body would increase. What Wang Mang was truly concerned about was, what level has his cultivation reached now? Had he reached the level of a demon king? Thinking about this, Wang Mang expectantly said, "System, open my personal information." In the next moment, his personal information appeared in front of his eyes. Host, Wang Mang type, deep sea giant python status, peak cultivation, 3,000 years body, 57 meters long for 2 meters wide, 30,000 kilograms weight. Fighting strength, 30,000 kilograms bite force, 94 kilometers per hour. Skills, death coil, corrosive poison, skin camouflage, steel body, super healing, water breathing, bloodthirsty fury, 10,000 beast intimidation special. Storage space, information detection, 10% evolution card. Intermediate blind box X3, random lottery chance X3 divine ability. King's slavery merchant shop. Unlocked evolution points, 110 million/2. 0.8 billion. After looking at his personal information, Wang Mang could not help but nod his head in satisfaction. His body size had reached 57 meters. His width was also more than 4 meters. His bite force had also reached 30 tons. Naturally, his weight had also reached 30 tons. What did 30 tons mean? A normal car would weigh around 2 tons. A mid-range car would weigh around 5 to 8 tons. This meant that Wang Mang's weight had already reached the weight of dozens of cars. Thinking about this, Wang Mang's mood became even more joyous. Naturally, what made Wang Mang the happiest was his cultivation. Right now, his cultivation had already reached 3,000 years. In other words, Wang Mang had already reached the minimum requirement of a demon king. Everyone knew that in order to become a demon king, one had to cultivate for 3,000 years. Now that Wang Mang had fulfilled this condition, he could indeed be called a demon king. This was also the reason why Wang Mang felt so high-spirited. Right now, he was already a true demon king. The strength of a Fey king was on a completely different level compared to a great Fey. When Wang Mang had 2,800 years of cultivation, it was extremely easy for him to kill great demons. Now that he had taken another step forward, his combat prowess had naturally undergone a qualitative change. The current Wang Mang could kill great demon-level monsters like chopping melons and vegetables. This simply made Wang Mang become unprecedentedly arrogant. Yes, Wang Mang felt that he could do it again. Although he was in a sorry state when he ran away from the king tree demon back then, he was still able to escape. However, when he was chasing after the Treant King, he was also very handsome. Of course, with such a bountiful harvest, he had to mention the Flood Dragon King's mission. Although he did not complete the Flood Dragon King's mission, Wang Mang did not have the strength to snatch it. That was because the Treant King was a precedent. How would he dare to snatch the Flood Dragon King? He did not want to be caught and hung up to be beaten. Moreover, it had been so long. The Flood Dragon King had probably fallen. Of course, Wang Mang's harvest this time was also very good. Didn't he easily evolve again? Now, he was also a demon king, although his strength was indeed weaker than the Treant King at its peak. In fact, compared to the Tortoise King and the Stone Demon King, he was much weaker. However, this could not deny that Wang Mang was indeed a demon king. Moreover, he believed that if he evolved a few more times, his strength would definitely be able to catch up to the other 2 demon kings. Other than that, he not only obtained the Treant King this time, but also obtained a lot of information. For example, there should only be 4 demon kings in the province he was in. As for whether there were more demon kings, Wang Mang did not know. However, 2 of the 4 demon kings had already fallen. They were the Flood Dragon King, who failed to pass the tribulation and fell. There was also the Treant King, who was killed by Wang Mang. This meant that, currently, there were only 2 demon kings in the entire province. Including Wang Mang, the newly ascended demon king, there were 3 of them. This made Wang Mang couldn't help but mutter to himself, "Should I take over the Treant King's territory?" After thinking for a while, Wang Mang gave up on this somewhat tempting idea. After all, territory could be snatched at any time. When his strength reached a sufficient level, wouldn't it be easy for him to take over territory? Of course, the most important thing was still strength. He had to increase his strength enough. Although there were only a few demon kings in the province that could threaten Wang Mang, who could say for sure in the future? Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt a headache. Now, he needed 2 billion evolution points to evolve again. This made him want to cry, but no tears came out. Luckily, he still had 3 intermediate blind boxes and 3 random lottery chances. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but look forward to it. System, open a blind box for me to test my luck. In the next moment, the system's voice echoed, ding. Congratulations, host. Successfully opened a blind box. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 70 million evolution points. Hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel happy. This is a good sign. I hope the system won't mess around like last time. Another 10 seconds passed. Wang Mang was anxiously looking forward to it. The system's voice rang again, ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained a top-quality luck treasure. Obtained 1 precious autograph photo from the author. Obtained 5 luck. Luck. Every person or monster has their own destined luck. It is very hard to increase it. Gentle reminder, when your luck is maxed out, you're super lucky. From now on, your life will be like a cheat. Ding. Checking host's own luck, ding. Check successful. Host's own luck is 20 out of 100. Ding. Luck blessing successful. Host's current luck is 25 out of 100. After listening to the system's explanation, Wang Mang, who was originally prepared to curse, suddenly understood. So every person was destined to have their own luck, whether it was high or low. Moreover, why was his luck so low? However, after thinking about it, Wang Mang felt relieved. That is, if his luck value is really high, how could he die in his own reservoir? Wang Mang quickly understood the meaning of luck. It turned out that this thing was really important, especially when he thought about how, if he maxed out his luck, wouldn't he be able to get good things every time he opened the lottery? After thinking about this, Wang Mang's mood became happy. He still wanted to get more luck value. This was because his luck was too low, so much so that Wang Mang couldn't help but mutter in his heart. The protagonists in those Shuang when novels probably maxed out their luck, right? It was as if the entire journey was about to end. It was even more teddy than a teddy bear. They were all like Zhao Ritian. Thinking about this, Wang Mang's heart was filled with envy. I wonder when I can become Zhao Ritian. At this time, the system's voice rang again, ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained. Chapter 118. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 1 billion evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang became excited. Aha! Good. Very good. Is this the effect of his luck value? In truth, Wang Mang had never obtained so many evolution points before. This time, he had obtained 1 billion evolution points. Originally, he only needed 2 billion evolution points to evolve, but now, he had obtained half of it. Thinking about this, Wang Mang was very excited. Moreover, he still had 2 intermediate blind boxes. According to the trend of his luck today, wouldn't he be able to obtain more than 1 billion? Thinking about this, Wang Mang became even more excited. Just when Wang Mang thought that the system's voice had stopped, the system's voice resounded. Congratulations, host. Obtained 100 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was completely stupefied. He never thought that the intermediate blind box would actually give him 4 chances. He originally thought that the intermediate blind box would only give him 3 chances. This was because the beginner blind box always gave him 3 chances. Thus, the intermediate blind box could actually give him 4 chances. This was simply out of Wang Mang's expectations. Naturally, Wang Mang was even more happy. This meant that Wang Mang's remaining 2 intermediate blind boxes could give him 8 chances. Additionally, there were 3 chances to draw a lottery. He reckoned that it would be hard for him not to evolve. After all, Wang Mang had only opened 1 intermediate blind box, yet he had already obtained one. 17 billion evolution points. There was no reason for the remaining 2 blind boxes to not give him 1 billion evolution points, right? Thinking about this, Wang Mang was very happy. Not bad, not bad. Since my luck is so good, then I'll continue to work hard and open more. Thinking about this, Wang Mang once again said in his heart, "System, open another intermediate blind box." In the next moment, the system's voice resounded again. Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully opened an intermediate blind box. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 100 million evolution points. Hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was overjoyed, even though he did not obtain another 1 billion evolution points. But he still had 3 more chances. Moreover, this was the first thing that came out of the second blind box. It was 30 million more evolution points than a blind box. This is a good sign. Therefore, Wang Mang was sitting on the fishing platform. After a few seconds, the system's voice sounded again. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have received a pack of beetle nuts. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned again. What the hell was this? He actually gave him a pack of beetle nuts? What the hell is this? What use did he have for Erica? Wang Mang also didn't eat beetle nut when he was alive. Thinking of this, Wang Mang suddenly felt helpless. He could only pray that the system would stop messing with him. What he wanted was evolution points. What he needed was a skill. What he wanted was a divine ability. Just as Wang Mang was puzzled, the system's voice sounded again. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have received 500 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang couldn't help but sigh in relief. Luckily, he didn't get anything fancy this time. Although he didn't get 1 billion evolution points, he got 500 million evolution points, which was very good. Currently, Jiangshi had already gotten 67 billion evolution points. He was once again 1 step closer to evolution. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's mood became happy and he continued to wait for the reward to come out. In the next moment, the system's voice sounded again. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have received a set of beautiful streamer Xiao Su's underwear. Wang Mang, asterisk, asterisk degree asterisk star. For a moment, Wang Mang was simply stupefied. He never thought that the system would mess with him again. Moreover, it was becoming more and more excessive. How could he be this kind of person? He was already a giant python. He was already a man who didn't care about anything. He couldn't touch the slightest bit of lust. He only hoped that there would be a day when he would be invincible on Earth. Moreover, who was this beautiful streamer Xiao Su? He had never heard of her before, so he didn't know her. System, I'm begging you. Can you be a human? Can you give me something from the human world? I'm afraid that you're not an evolution system, but a wretched system. In the next moment, Wang Mang was already cursing in his heart. However, the system didn't respond to his ridicule. After a while, the system's familiar voice sounded again. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have received 100 years of cultivation experience. In the next moment, Wang Mang felt his body tremble. He could feel that he had become a bit stronger. However, this feeling was very vague and indescribable. Naturally, Wang Mang knew that this was the 100 years of cultivation experience that he had just received. This made Wang Mang very surprised. He never thought that he could receive additional cultivation experience. Although 100 years of cultivation experience wasn't much to Wang Mang, it was still better than some fancy stuff. Thinking of this, Wang Mang let out a sigh of relief. The second blind box reward wasn't as good as the first one. Out of the 4 lottery chances, the system gave him 2 trashy items. Even the Erica nut was here. Oh, and there was also some original underwear. To be honest, Wang Mang didn't even have the strength to ridicule it. Therefore, Wang Mang was a bit hesitant as to whether he should continue to open the last intermediate blind box. He was worried that he wouldn't get anything good and that he would get a bunch of trashy items again. However, after some hesitation, Wang Mang finally decided to open it. After all, he still had 3 free random lottery chances. Thinking of this, Wang Mang said in his heart. System, open the last intermediate blind box. System, I'm free. Stop messing with me. Give me something from the human world. In the next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded again. Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully opened the intermediate blind box. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 100 million evolution points. Wang Mang's eyes lit up, and his mood became a lot better. That's right. If it really doesn't work, I'll give him more evolution points. In an instant, Wang Mang's mood turned from gloomy to sunny. Another 10 seconds passed. The system's voice sounded again. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 100 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang became excited again. Good, good. Although it wasn't a lot of evolution points, but it was still 100 million. Like this, Wang Mang was one step closer to evolving. This was because Wang Mang had already obtained 87 billion evolution points, adding the remaining 100 million evolution points from the original evolution. Wang Mang was less than 100 million evolution points away from evolving again. With another 100 million, Wang Mang would be able to evolve again. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel his blood boil. Quick, quick, quick. Give me another 100 million evolution points. It's enough for me to evolve again. Thinking of this, Wang Mang became very excited. In the next moment, the system's voice sounded again. Congratulations, host. Obtained 10 billion. Chapter 119. What the F asterisk CK? Could it be that I'm going to get rich? Although the system's voice did not finish, Wang Mang was already completely excited. If he really got 10 billion evolution points, not to mention the Treant King. At that time, the Stone Demon King would also be good, or the Turtle Demon King would also be good. He could beat the shit out of them. However, in the next moment, after the system's voice ended, Wang Mang almost could not hold back and jumped up. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 10 billion hell coins. After listening to the system's voice, the excitement in Wang Mang's heart immediately disappeared. He almost could not hold back and cried out like a pig. In an instant, Wang Mang completely collapsed. 10 billion hell coins? What's the use of that? He was not dead, so what did he want this thing for? In his anger, Wang Mang was sure that the system was doing it on purpose. It simply made him happy for nothing. Moreover, he clearly wanted the system to give him something in the human world. In the end, the system was good and gave him something in the underworld. Damn, system, you're not a human at all. Wang Mang felt extremely sullen and angry. He had already warmly greeted the system's family in his heart. However, no matter how angry Wang Mang was, the system still did not respond. Instead, after a while, the system's voice sounded again, frowny-faced Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 100 million evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host. The accumulated evolution points are enough to evolve. Would you like to begin evolution? After hearing the system's voice, only then did the fury in Wang Mang's heart gradually calm down. He felt that this blind box was the most trashy. The thing that came out was only 300 million evolution points. Oh, there's also 10 billion hell coins. I can't continue. Wait for me to evolve first. After the evolution, I'll try the random lottery. Thinking about this, Wang Mang said in his heart, System, begin evolution. In the next moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Successfully deducted 2.08 billion evolution points. Beginning evolution. After that, Wang Mang completely lost consciousness. 2 hours later, Wang Mang slowly woke up from his evolution. After completing the evolution, Wang Mang immediately observed his own body. The result was as expected. His body size had increased again. Other than that, he had also improved in various aspects. As for how much he had improved, he wasn't sure. Therefore, Wang Mang said in his heart, System, open my personal information. The next moment, his personal information appeared before his eyes. Host, Wang Mang. Type, Deep Sea Python status, peak. Cultivation experience, 3,200 years. Size, 60 meters long, 5 meters wide, 33,000 kilograms in weight. Combat strength, bite force of 33,000 kilograms, speed of 94 kilometers per hour. Thinking about this, Wang Mang moved his huge body and left the nest. When he arrived outside the nest, Wang Mang shuttled through the forest and rushed towards his own farm. However, when Wang Mang entered his own farm to eat pigs like before, he discovered that there were people. That's right. This was the first time Wang Mang had encountered people in his own farm in the middle of the night. This was because it wasn't just one or two people, there were more than 10 of them. Not only that, there were also a few large carts in his own farm. This caused Wang Mang to be somewhat puzzled. Just what was going on? Thinking up to this point, Wang Mang hid in the pitch-black forest, silently observing these dozen or so people. At the same time, the people who were stealing pigs outside the farm were excitedly stealing pigs. They had already stolen more than 40 pigs. Why were they so daring? Of course, it was because they were in cahoots with the people in the farm. According to the people in the farm, the pigs would disappear every night anyway. In the past, 500 pigs would disappear every day, but now, tens of thousands of pigs would disappear every night. Although they didn't know the secret behind this, wealth was tempting. Moreover, tens of thousands of pigs would disappear every day anyway. What was wrong with them stealing some? Moreover, they guessed that even if they lost a few hundred pigs, they wouldn't be discovered. Because of this, they were in cahoots with the people in the farm and had already stolen dozens of pigs. Now they were still stealing pigs. They wanted to steal a few hundred pigs before dawn. Therefore, these people were very motivated. At this time, a man couldn't help but say excitedly, "I think our chance to make a fortune is here." In the past, I always asked my family to secretly steal 1 or 2 pigs, and we never got discovered. If we don't get discovered this time, I think our chance to make a fortune is here. Hearing this, another man also said excitedly, "Yeah, anyway, the pigs here will disappear every night. It doesn't matter if we secretly steal some every day. No one will know anyway." After hearing this, Wang Mang, who was hiding in the dark, how could he not know what these people were doing? These people were really bold. They actually dared to steal food from the tiger's mouth. For a moment, Wang Mang's snake eyes turned cold. At the same time, Wang Mang's heart was already filled with killing intent. Thinking of this, Wang Mang suddenly said in a cold voice, "Do you want to know why these pigs disappear?" As he spoke, King slowly moved his huge body and was ready to stop hiding. Hearing this, the men who were excitedly lifting the pigs were all stunned. One of the men, who was pulling the big white pig with all his strength, subconsciously asked with a smile, "Do you know?" Chapter 120. After the guy finished speaking, he couldn't help but look back subconsciously. But when he looked at it, he was stunned. Who was the one who said that? The voice was a little strange. He looked at the other 10 or so companions blankly. But when he saw the other 10 or so companions, he was also puzzled. For a moment, the 10 or so people looked at each other and around in confusion. The man who responded to Wang Mang earlier couldn't help but feel his hair stand on end. He looked at the others and said, "Which one of you was talking just now?" Hearing this, the other 10 or so people shook their heads. Seeing this scene, the man felt his hair stand on end. He subconsciously looked at the place where the voice came from. What he saw was pitch black. At the same time, the other 10 or so people also turned their heads in confusion. At this moment, they suddenly heard a faint movement in the darkness. The rustling sound was as if a huge object was crawling on the ground. This made the 10 or so people present feel their hair stand on end. The man who responded to Wang Mang earlier couldn't help but shine the flashlight in that direction. Under the illumination of the flashlight, the 10 or so people present saw a scene that made their scalps tingle. Even the people present thought that they were seeing things, until Wang Mang completely appeared from the darkness. The dozen or so men present all sucked in a breath of cold air. They looked up blankly at the super behemoth in front of them. Was this a super giant python that was 60 meters long? No. How could a giant python grow so big? This must be an illusion. For a moment, the 10 or so people were so scared that their bodies froze on the spot. One of the men even widened his eyes and fell to the ground in a daze. He was scared to death. The other 10 or so men also looked at Wang Mang with faces full of fear. They really hoped that this was a dream, but the pain from pinching their thighs told them that this was not a dream. How is this possible? How could there be such a huge python? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. A giant python can't grow so big. For a moment, the remaining 10 or so people were still muttering to themselves. At this moment, they seemed to have been scared out of their wits by Wang Mang. Hearing this, Wang Mang opened his ferocious mouth wide and said in a ghastly manner, "You guys are very bold. How dare you steal my food?" After hearing Wang Mang's words, more than 10 people present were so scared that they almost died on the spot. What do these words mean? This meant that the tens of thousands of pigs that were being slaughtered every day did not disappear without a trace. On the contrary, it entered the stomach of the super giant python monster in front of him. Yes, from their point of view, Wang Mang could no longer be described as a giant python. How could there be such a huge python? Also, could the python speak? This must be a monster. It must be an extremely terrifying monster. Thinking of this, they felt their scalps go numb. This was because none of them had ever dreamt that this would happen. The owner of this farm actually raised such a terrifying giant python monster. Moreover, these pigs were all brought here for this super python monster to eat. Thinking of this, the dozen or so men present felt their hair stand on end. In other words, every time they came to steal pigs, they had a close brush with death. Moreover, the people in this farm probably never dreamt that. The farm that they were in charge of was used to feed this super giant python monster, right? Plop. The man who responded to Wang Mang earlier knelt on the ground and begged in horror, "My king, please don't kill me. We really didn't know that these pigs were for you to eat. If we knew, even if you gave us 100 guts, we wouldn't have the guts." In the next moment, the rest of the men knelt on the ground and kowtowed to Wang Mang, begging for mercy in horror. "Your Majesty, please spare our lives. We don't blame those who didn't know. Yes, my king, we will definitely return all the pigs that we stole to you double. No, 10 times. We will return all of them to you, my king." Wang Mang instantly laughed ghastly when he heard this. "There's no need. You can pay with your lives." Hearing Wang Mang's words, the men who knelt on the ground in horror subconsciously raised their heads to look at Wang Mang. When they saw Wang Mang open his bloody mouth, they wanted to escape in horror. But it was too late. Wang Mang, who had opened his bloody mouth, immediately spat out the corrosive poison. Poochie, Poochie. When the corrosive poison landed on these people's bodies, the dozen or so men rolled on the ground in pain, screaming miserably. "Ah, it hurts so much. My face. No, I don't want to die." Unfortunately, no matter how much they screamed, they completely stopped after a while. Originally, there were more than 10 men alive. Now, they had turned into a pool of black pus and blood. Obviously, these people were all easily corroded by Wang Mang's corrosive poison. Seeing this, Wang Mang couldn't help but nod in satisfaction. Finally, he got rid of these eyesores. They still wanted to steal his pigs to make a fortune. They could come and steal as long as they could return alive. As for what kind of trouble would it cause if they killed them, Wang Mang wasn't worried about this problem at all. These people couldn't be exposed to the public. And now, even their corpses were gone. At most, they were all missing. Moreover, Wang Mang didn't want to let them go. If he let them go, Wang Mang would be completely exposed. By then, how much trouble would it cause him? Therefore, the moment Wang Mang appeared, these people were destined to die. Moreover, Wang Mang believed that from now on, no one would have any ideas about his pigs. After all, he had already killed more than 10 people who came back to steal his pigs. Regardless of whether these people colluded with the people in the farm, they wouldn't dare to steal anymore. If there were still people who weren't afraid of death, Wang Mang would be happy to send them to see the Western Buddha. Afterwards, Wang Mang ate the pigs in the 2 trucks. Then, Wang Mang went to eat all the pigs in the farm. Thus, he easily earned 88 million evolution points. After eating the pigs, Wang Mang was satisfied and cleaned up the battlefield. Of course, the 2 trucks didn't pose any difficulty to Wang Mang. Wang Mang's huge body coiled around and easily turned the 2 trucks into iron balls. After turning the 2 trucks into scrap metal, Wang Mang threw them to the back of the mountain. As for why he didn't throw them into his own reservoir, have you ever seen someone throw trash into their own house? After cleaning up the battlefield, Wang Mang went to the reservoir to take a bath and patrolled his territory. After patrolling his territory, Wang Mang happily went back to his own cave. After returning to his cave, Wang Mang impatiently said, "System, give me a random lottery." In the next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded, "Ding! Congratulations, host. You have successfully used a random lottery." Then, a huge compass appeared in Wang Mang's mind. However, after looking at the 9 prizes on the compass, Wang Mang became excited again. Because these 9 prizes, they were 1. 9 billion evolution points. 2. 9 billion evolution points. 9 billion evolution points. 1% evolution card, 2% evolution card, 3% evolution card. Advanced blind box, X1, divine power, endless changes. 1 free evolution. Chapter 121. After looking at the 9 prizes, Wang Mang was extremely excited. He did not expect that there would be 9 prizes this time. Moreover, the 9 prizes this time were not any weaker than the previous lottery draw. That was because there were a lot of prizes. Moreover, none of the prizes were bad. Even if he was unlucky, any one of them would be a great reward. Thinking about this, Wang Mang was bursting with joy. He liked this kind of lottery draw. All of them were good things. He did not have to worry about not getting anything good. Thinking about this, Wang Mang could not help but become excited. At the same time, the big lottery compass in Wang Mang's mind began to slowly spin. I'll be happy with any one of them. The best would be to give me a divine ability, or give me a 2% evolution card. Oh, 9 billion evolution points. That's fine too, Wang Mang said nervously and expectantly as he looked at the spinning roulette wheel. 1 minute later, when the spinning speed of the compass slowed down, Wang Mang also became nervous. After a while, the system's familiar voice resounded, "Ding! Congratulations, host. You have obtained a 2% evolution card." After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was a bit disappointed. He did not get the best prize again. What he wanted was 9 billion evolution points. If that did not work, then a 2% evolution card was fine too. If that did not work, then a free evolution was fine too. Still not enough? Give me a divine ability. Infinite changes. Just by hearing the name, he knew that the divine ability would be very powerful. However, what made Wang Mang feel helpless was that he did not get what he wanted the most. He was actually given a 2% evolution card. Among the 9 prizes, this 2-fold evolution card could only be ranked 5th at best. Wang Mang felt that it was a bit regretful, but he was not too disappointed. At this time, the system's voice resounded again, "Ding! Detected that the host has 2 more lottery chances. Would you like to use them?" After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang came back to his senses and quickly asked, "System, if I were to draw the lottery again, would the prizes still be the same 9? The system's voice sounded again. "It will be refreshed every time you draw a prize, unless the host uses all the lottery chances at once. The prizes on the compass will not be refreshed." After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang couldn't help but wonder. He hadn't even seen the prize yet, so how could he dare to use 3 consecutive draws? What if the 9 prizes were trash? Of course, if it was the 9 prizes on his head, Wang Mang would definitely want 3 consecutive draws. However, the problem was that he had only used 1 lucky draw chance. If he were to draw the lottery again, the 9 prizes would probably be refreshed. Thinking up to this point, Wang Mang felt a little helpless. The safest way was to get a single draw. Riches and honor were sought in the midst of danger. Only then would one choose to draw 3 in a row. If he chose to draw 3 compasses in a row, and all of them were as good as the 9 prizes just now, then he would definitely make a big profit. But that was where the problem lay. Before he saw the prizes, Wang Mang obviously didn't dare to draw consecutively, as he was afraid of losing money. By the time he saw the prizes, it would already be too late to draw consecutively. After pondering for a while, Wang Mang decided to continue the lottery. Thinking up to this point, Wang Mang said in his heart, "System, give me another random draw." Since he already had a 20% evolution card, he only needed 800 million evolution points to draw the lottery. If he was lucky, he might be able to evolve again. In truth, Wang Mang had already evolved twice in a short period of time. If he could evolve 3 times in a row, just thinking about it made Wang Mang feel great. In the next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded. "Congratulations, host. You have successfully used a random draw chance." Then, a big compass appeared in front of Wang Mang's eyes once again. After looking at the 9 prizes on the compass, Wang Mang couldn't help but laugh. This was because the 9 prizes this time, from Wang Mang's point of view, they were even better than the previous lottery. The 9 prizes were as follows. Ability, shrink as you wish. Ability, complete invisibility. Ability, lightning speed. Divine ability, riding the clouds. Divine ability, overturn the river and control the water. Divine ability, assimilate to nothingness. Advanced blind box, X1. Free evolution, X1. Lottery again, X3. After looking at the 9 prizes, of course, Wang Mang was laughing, because these 9 prizes were even better than the prizes from the previous lottery. 3 divine abilities, 3 skills. The remaining 3 were all good stuff. All 9 prizes were good. Each divine ability was more powerful than the previous one. Each skill was more powerful than the previous one. It could be said that any of the prizes mentioned above, if given to Wang Mang would be very happy. Of course, the last prize was still the last one. If he really had to draw 3 more times, Wang Mang would probably faint from happiness. Fortunately, this was a random lottery and the 9 prizes were all so powerful. In fact, according to Wang Mang's guess, the possibility of him obtaining skills was very high. Thinking of this, Wang Mang could not help but feel even more nervous and expectant. Of course, if he could obtain divine abilities, that would be even better, because these 3 divine abilities, just by looking at their names, would definitely not be weak. To be honest, Wang Mang actually had very few divine abilities. Now, Wang Mang only had 1 divine ability. If he was given a divine ability, he would naturally be happier. Evolution points could be obtained at any time, but divine abilities were really hard to come by. It could even be said that skills could be obtained by chance through evolution. Only divine abilities. Wang Mang only had 1 from the beginning to the end. This divine ability was King's Slave. Although this skill was very powerful, the problem was that there was also a drawback. It was the limit of the number of slaves. If there was an unlimited number of slaves, Wang Mang would have already defied the heavens. Thinking of this, Wang Mang wanted to obtain divine abilities even more. Moreover, among the 9 prizes this time. Furthermore, the 3 divine abilities mentioned above were all powerful divine abilities. Of course, although he wanted to, Wang Mang was not sure if he could obtain them. This would depend on whether the goddess of luck would bless him again. If she did not bless him, it would basically be over. Therefore, Wang Mang could only pray for the goddess of luck to bless him. At this time, in Wang Mang's anticipation, the lucky compass began to spin. 1 minute later, the lucky compass's spinning speed gradually slowed down. At the same time, Wang Mang was so excited that he could not speak, because the needle of the lucky compass seemed to be about to stop. A moment later, the system's voice sounded again. Ding. "Congratulations, host. Successfully obtained." Chapter 122. After a while, the system's voice sounded again. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained a new skill, wishful shrinking. When the system's voice ended, only then did Wang Mang recover from his stupor. After regaining his senses, Wang Mang was overjoyed. He actually obtained a skill, and it was the wishful shrinking skill. To be honest, this skill had appeared a few times, and Wang Mang had always wanted to obtain it. However, Wang Mang had never obtained it, and had brushed past this skill a few times. Also, this wishful shrinking skill was too practical. Imagine, if the Tree Demon King had this skill, Wang Mang might have really lost it. Imagine, if he was being chased and Wang Mang instantly turned into a small python. How awesome would that scene be? Moreover, once he had this skill, Wang Mang would no longer have to worry about his huge body size. Because as Wang Mang's body size increased, he realized that it was harder to hide. In fact, it could even be said that Wang Mang had been hiding all over the place. Ever since his body size increased, he didn't dare to show his face. Because once Wang Mang showed his face, it would cause an uproar. But now, with this skill, Wang Mang could play happily again. He didn't have to worry about his huge body size anymore. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's mood instantly brightened. He was very satisfied with the lottery this time, because out of all the skills, this was the one he wanted the most. As for the invisibility skill, Wang Mang didn't think it was useful. So what if he could become invisible? Could he rely on invisibility when fighting? But invisibility didn't mean that he would disappear completely. Everyone would be able to see him if he made any movements. Moreover, his body size was so huge, invisibility wouldn't be of much use. Unless there were times when he could hide in water, but his body temperature couldn't disappear. It could be said that even if he was invisible, some thermal sensors would still be able to sense Wang Mang's existence. Therefore, among the three skills, Wang Mang wanted to get his wishful shrinking the most. Other than that, out of the three techniques, the one he wanted the most was riding the cloud. After all, who didn't dream of flying? This was the work of an immortal. Although Wang Mang wanted to, he knew it was impossible, because according to his understanding of the system, there was no way the system would allow him to obtain such a good divine ability so easily. After all, he was not even invincible on the ground, let alone in the sky. Therefore, although Wang Mang had thoughts about the mystique, he was already mentally prepared and knew that the possibility of obtaining it was not high. Well, it's just like the lottery. You just have to look at the prizes when you win the big prize. At the same time, the system's familiar voice sounded. Ding. Rui became smaller. The skill has been granted. Wishful shrinking. After use, it can shrink the host body to 1/20th of the host's original size. After listening to the system's explanation, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel happy. If that was the case, he could shrink down to 3 meters from his current size of 60 meters. If it was 3 meters, wasn't it the same size as a few months ago when he hadn't obtained the system? Thinking of this, Wang Mang was very happy. He felt that he could play freely. Similarly, he could also be very free. He could also appear near his reservoir during the day. After all, with a length of 3 meters, he didn't have to worry about being noticed at all. All he had to do was lie down in the bushes, and he would be able to hide. The more Wang Mang thought about it, the more excited he became. The emotions in his heart were simply indescribable. At the same time, Wang Mang couldn't help but immediately use the skill. He said in his heart, wishful shrinking. In the next moment, Wang Mang's body, which was originally as huge as a monster, instantly turned into a small python that was 3 meters long. In the cave, Lil Thing, who was hugging a kite and eating it, jumped up immediately as if it had seen a ghost. Lil Thing looked around in a daze. Even the spicy strips in its claws fell to the ground. Then, Lil Thing saw Wang Mang, who was only 3 meters in size, and scratched its head with its claws in confusion. Lil Thing hurriedly went up and sniffed Wang Mang for a while, before confirming that this little guy was its companion. But what made Bro Flat Top very confused was, how did his super huge companion become so small? Thinking of this, Lil Thing, who was very confused, couldn't help but use its claws to scratch Wang Mang's snake head. However, it was sent flying by the tail. Lil Thing was in a sorry state. It rolled a few times on the ground before it crawled up. At this point, Lil Thing was sure of Wang Mang's identity. There was no doubt that he was its companion, because, in Lil Thing's impression, Wang Mang's temper had always been very irritable. On the contrary, if Wang Mang's temper wasn't irritable, Lil Thing would be suspicious. At the same time, Wang Mang didn't pay attention to Lil Thing. Seeing that it was already dawn outside the nest, Wang Mang didn't care at all. He moved his body excitedly and rushed out of the nest. Obviously, Wang Mang was going to go out and have some fun. Now that he was small, he could play freely again. Seeing Wang Mang leave the nest, Lil Thing hurriedly followed him. At this moment, outside the cave, the heavy downpour finally stopped in the sky. One must know that this heavy rain had been falling continuously for many days. Fortunately, before dawn, the heavy rain that had been falling continuously for several days had stopped. Therefore, the sky was now clear, the sun was bright, and the breeze was just right. Wang Mang was in a good mood as he moved his body and rushed toward his own reservoir. After all, Wang Mang was still a person who liked to be lively. However, after becoming a giant python, he couldn't do anything. After all, a giant python would be lonely after a long time. Perhaps, all the strong were destined to be lonely. However, Wang Mang still didn't like it and wanted to live a primitive life. As for the other lottery, Wang Mang wasn't in a hurry at all. He wanted to take it slow. He hadn't had a chance to test his strength yet. Moreover, Wang Mang didn't have to worry about the evolution. He now had a two-fold evolution card. He only needed to get 800 million evolution points. When the time came, he would accept the system's reward mission. As for entering a bustling city again, to be honest, Wang Mang didn't have this thought. Perhaps he could enter a bustling city with his father. What if he was bullied? What if someone was against him? He couldn't possibly transform back into his original form and kill the other party, right? Moreover, in a bustling city, it wasn't good for his development. In a bustling city, where would there be a pig farm specially provided for him? A large bustling city was indeed lively, but it wasn't good for Wang Mang to be free and active. Right now, it could be said that this was the best result. It was much more convenient to become small again. Although after becoming small, his strength would be a lot weaker, but Wang Mang could transform back at any time. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but be high-spirited. At the same time, Wang Mang also rushed towards the reservoir. Not long after, Wang Mang suddenly saw that in a forest near the reservoir, there was actually someone. He saw a beautiful woman quietly squatting behind the bushes. To be honest, Wang Mang didn't know either. Why was she squatting there? Then, how did Wang Mang confirm that the other party was a girl? The main thing was that in his line of sight, that Snow White, but was a bit eye-catching. Chapter 123. At this moment behind the bushes, little Sue, who had a happy expression on her face, lifted her skirt after she was done with her business. After standing up, she looked around with a guilty conscience. Then, Xiao Su inadvertently saw Bro Flat Top and Wang Mang. There's a snake. Frightened, Xiao Su's face turned pale. She hurriedly ran out of the jungle. She didn't know how many times she had seen a snake. She didn't expect that there would be a snake staring at her from behind when she was relieving herself. After the beautiful woman left his sight, Wang Mang came back to his senses. Did I see something I shouldn't have? After coming back to his senses, Wang Mang opened his snake eyes wide. He was stunned. Vaguely, Wang Mang didn't know what he saw. Oh no, he didn't see anything. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was a little speechless. He didn't expect to see a beautiful woman as soon as he came out. If it was before he became a python, Wang Mang would be very happy. Because in this situation, it proved that he had been lucky in love recently. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was in a good mood. He moved his body toward the bank of the reservoir. But what made Wang Mang even more speechless was that this confused little thing went to the place where the beautiful woman was squatting. After sniffing for a while, The little thing hurriedly continued to follow behind Wang Mang. Just as Wang Mang was about to reach the bank of the Huanshan Reservoir, he saw a man and a woman looking for something in the jungle. Among the man and woman, the woman was dressed very sexily with heavy makeup. The man was a little thin, as if he had been squeezed dry. At this time, the woman in high heels couldn't help but complain, "Are you kidding me? How can there be a snake here?" Hearing this, the man said helplessly, "There must be one. Besides, it's not easy to buy one. Besides, it's so expensive to buy a non-poisonous snake. Are you willing to pay for it? It's okay. We'll look for it for a while." Who the hell knows that the bosses nowadays are so perverted? They actually want to watch snakes drill holes. Moreover, it has to be thick enough. It has to be at least as thick as a fist. The girl with heavy makeup couldn't help but curse. These people are simply perverts. Last time, you made me perform a wine bottle stopper. This time, you actually want me to perform a snake burrowing into a hole. The young man couldn't help but comfort her. All right, just bear with it for the sake of money. If it weren't for the money, who would be willing to serve these perverted bosses? Nowadays, these bosses don't like to watch dramas anymore. It's hard to make money if you don't come up with something new. Hearing this, the girl with heavy makeup became even angrier. Are you a man? If you had some ability, would I be so cheap? The man's heart sank, and he thought to himself, if it weren't for the fact that I need you to help me make money, I would have dumped you long ago. Of course, the man thought so in his heart, but his tone was gentle. Don't worry, I'll marry you in the future. I don't care about those things at all. After we perform the snake burrowing into a hole, we'll probably have enough money to buy a house. By then, I'll definitely marry you grandly. As he spoke, the man inadvertently saw Wang Mang and his eyes lit up. I got it. It's this python. As he spoke, the young man hurriedly ran towards Wang Mang. When he got closer to observe Wang Mang for a while, he became even more excited. You're the one. At the same time, the man had already taken out the snakeskin bag and was ready to make a move on Wang Mang. At the same time, Wang Mang had been listening for so long, so of course, he also heard the content of their conversation. When he found out that the identity of the two people was actually the emperor, Wang Mang was already very speechless. However, when he saw that the man was actually coming towards him, Wang Mang was even more furious. Damn it! You want me to perform a snake burrowing into a hole with you? F***CK. Your grandpa. How the F***CK do you dare to do that? Do you know how big my body is? Wang Mang was infuriated. He never thought that this be***starred would actually dare to have ideas about him. Moreover, he wanted to use him to do some indescribable things. Of course, although Wang Mang was very angry in his heart, he was still very angry. However, the man suddenly did not feel it. He excitedly sized up Wang Mang, and the more he looked, the happier he became. In his heart, he had already regarded Wang Mang as the male lead of his live broadcast tonight, because Wang Mang's body size was just enough to satisfy the fetishes of those perverted bosses. Similarly, his girlfriend would also be able to handle it. Just as he was about to reach out to grab him, the flat-top bro beside him roared and rushed forward. When he saw the flat-top bro rushing towards him, the young man instantly panicked. His attention was previously on Wang Mang, and he did not expect the flat-top bro to be following Wang Mang. Get lost! The man cursed and quickly retreated, kicking the flat-top bro away. However, this kick immediately angered the flat-top bro. Then, the flat-top bro began to chase after him and bite him like a madman. In an instant, the man screamed and ran away pathetically. Seeing this, Wang Mang secretly nodded in satisfaction. This underling was not bad. Now, he did not even have to do anything. His underlings had taken care of this guy. In broad daylight, Wang Mang did not want to kill anyone. Otherwise, it would be extremely easy for Wang Mang to kill him. He only needed to spit out a mouthful of corrosive poison, and the man would scream and turn into a pool of pus and blood. Without the harassment of the perverted couple, Wang Mang finally arrived at the reservoir by the shore. At this moment, the reservoir by the shore was filled with people. Therefore, Wang Meng hid in the bushes and quietly sized up the crowd by the reservoir. At this moment, a group of energetic young men dressed in suits attracted Wang Meng's attention. He saw that not far away by the shore, there were more than 10 energetic young men dressed in flashy clothes, and they seemed to have some cards to play. Among them, a handsome young man was shouting at the camera of the live broadcast on his mobile phone, "Brothers, in order to prove that there are no water monsters today, I will swim in the reservoir myself later." What? How many water monsters are there? Bulsh asterisk T, giant pythons. Everyone will see with their own eyes later. I will swim in the reservoir, and nothing will happen to me. Come on, brothers, let's give you some gifts and live to 99 years old. Oh my. Thank you for the cloud-piercing arrow, brother. There is nothing wrong with brother. Brothers, give me more gifts. The gifts are over 1 million. I will swim in the reservoir right now. I will do what I say. At this moment, many people who were there to watch or to fish could not help but laugh. Young man, if you dare to swim in the water and come back 100 meters from the shore, I will give you 20,000 yuan. Ha! Young man, I will give you 20,000 yuan too. If you dare to swim in the water, come back. Hearing this, the young man's eyes immediately lit up, and he said, "Brothers, will you really do what you say?" Of course, I fish every day when I have nothing to do. I drive a Land Rover and live in a villa. I'm not short of money. Young man, if you dare to swim in the water and come back, I will give you 20,000 yuan too. Me too. Ha! Count me in. For a moment, many middle-aged men who were fishing laughed and mocked him. However, the energetic young man immediately said, "Brothers in the live broadcast room, you heard that. I will go in the water now. Watch carefully. Brothers, don't go back on your words later." After that, the young man really began to take off his clothes. Seeing this, Wang Meng was speechless. He had seen people who were courting death, but he had never seen anyone courting death like this. Chapter 124. To be honest, if this guy really dared to go into the reservoir, Wang Meng couldn't guarantee that this guy could come up alive. He was just fishing on the shore, but he was already dead. Hopefully, this guy would have better luck. Of course, Wang Meng didn't care about this little thing. If this guy wanted to die, he couldn't stop him. What could he do? At this moment, the energetic young man who was about to go into the water was persuaded by many kind-hearted people. "Young man, don't go down. Just fish in the reservoir." "Yeah, don't go down." Last time, even the professionals from the TV station didn't dare to go into the water. "Young man, you can make money anytime, but if you lose your life, you'll really lose it." "Yeah, this reservoir is not that simple. I don't know how many fishing rods have been pulled away." Hearing this, the energetic young man said disdainfully, "Nonsense. I don't believe there are really water monsters. If there are water monsters in the reservoir, eat me later if you dare." Seeing that the young man didn't listen to their advice, many fishermen shook their heads secretly. Just don't ask for help later. It's hard to persuade him with kind words. I hope he can still come back. Who cares? If he doesn't listen, then forget it. If he dies, it has nothing to do with us. Hearing this, the young man who had taken off his boxers didn't care at all. He said to the camera in the live broadcast room on his mobile phone, "Guys, watch carefully. I'm going to go down." As soon as the man finished speaking, the comments in the live broadcast room began to roll. "Qianhua. Brother, rest in peace. The wreath is ready. Brother, rest in peace." "Envious Teddy. Brother, there's nothing wrong with you. If you come back alive, we'll gather gifts and treat you to a meal. If you don't come back, the whole village will eat at your place. Long to the waist. Brother, don't worry. I'm long enough to drag you up if there's an accident. I am Chaomingda. Brother, there's nothing wrong with you. If you really die, I'll take care of your wife. Number 1 middle school gang leader. Brother, hurry up. I'm going to start school tomorrow. I still want to eat at your place. Zayuk Siuksu. Brothers above, please be human. It's not easy for the streamer. Every day to die for you. What's wrong with collecting gifts? At most, I'll eat at your place. In the face of the comments in the live broadcast room, the energetic guy did not care at all because he did not think that there were any water monsters at all. After all, he didn't hear about how many people died in the reservoir. Only the boss's son was unlucky enough to drown. Therefore, under everyone's regretful gazes, he snorted arrogantly and then elegantly warmed up. Then, he jumped into the water with a splash. Then, under everyone's gaze, he swam proudly. Did you see that? Nothing happened. After saying that, he swam confidently toward the deep waters. It didn't take long for him to swim 100 meters away. Pleased with himself, the young man prepared to return. However, he suddenly felt that something was wrong. When he turned around, he was almost scared to death. In the water behind him, a black shadow was rapidly approaching him. Seeing this scene, the streamer was so scared that his face turned pale. He screamed in horror, "Quick! Save me! Everyone, save me! There's something in the water." As he spoke, he desperately swam towards the shore. Moreover, under the dangerous outburst, the swimming speed was very fast. Unfortunately, no matter how fast he was, he couldn't be faster than the psychic fish in the water. In the next moment, countless people on the shore saw a huge black shadow emerge from the water. Then, the huge black shadow swallowed the energetic guy in one gulp. Seeing this scene, countless people fishing and watching on the shore were stunned. They seemed to have vaguely heard a cry for help. Then, there seemed to be no more then. For a moment, the entire crowd in the reservoir was completely boiling. Similarly, the comment section in the live broadcast room that recorded all of this was also exploding, because they all saw it with their own eyes. The streamer was dead? For a moment, the comments were crazily rolling. Number 1 high school's gang boss. Damn. Are we really going to have a feast this time? Loser's waist. Damn. Is he really dead this time? Momo's long legs. Call the police quickly. Seems like something really happened this time. Show. He's gone just like that? Sigh. Traveler 358. There's nothing wrong with him. He can be carried away. At the same time, Wang Mang naturally saw it too. To be honest, Wang Mang wasn't surprised at all. This guy was courting death. It would be a pity if God didn't punish him. Of course, Wang Mang also noticed that some people were starting to call the police. As for whether they would compensate him or not, Wang Mang didn't know. Although this was his own reservoir, he probably wouldn't have to pay too much compensation. Because the other party was courting death, there was a warning sign in the reservoir. Moreover, according to Wang Mang's understanding of his dad, he would probably rather spend money to hire a lawyer than pay compensation. Who asked this guy to court death? If it was just fishing in the shallow water within 50 meters, it would be fine. As the old saying goes, it's hard to persuade a damned ghost with kind words. After watching for a while, Wang Mang left. After leaving, Wang Mang happily wandered around his own territory. After dark, Wang Mang finished patrolling the territory and was about to eat the pig. However, Wang Mang caught a whiff of demonic aura in the air again. Yes, it was definitely demonic aura. That was because Wang Mang already had a way to distinguish between monsters and ferocious beasts. After feeling this demonic aura, Wang Mang suddenly had a thought, and his body immediately became 15 meters tall. Not long after, Wang Mang saw a 15-meter tall black bear in the jungle ahead. This black bear was definitely a great demon. Wang Mang could tell from the aura. Furthermore, after Wang Mang used information detection, Wang Mang's expression changed. The information of this black bear great demon appeared in front of his eyes. Target, black bear demon. Cultivation experience, 1,200 years. Realm, early stage, great demon. Skill, crazy fight. After reading the personal information, Wang Mang immediately thought to himself that it was indeed so. At this time, the black bear great demon also saw Wang Mang. He quickly moved his body and came not far from Wang Mang and said proudly, "We're the great demons in this territory. Are you the subordinate of the great demon in this territory? Remember to inform your king. Now our Black Mountain Demon King has occupied the territory of the Tree Demon King. That is to say, in the future, your king will have to bow down to my king. In 3 days, all the great demons who were once under the jurisdiction of the Tree Demon King must be present. Hearing this, Wang Mang came to a sudden realization. It turned out that the Tree Demon's territory had been occupied by other demon kings. He wondered how strong this demon king who occupied the Tree Demon King's territory was. Just as Wang Mang was guessing inwardly, the brown bear great demon immediately roared furiously. Presumptuous! Little demon, did you hear what I said to you? Chapter 125. Hearing this, Wang Mang was stunned for a moment. Then he was amused. He did not expect this black bear great demon to mock him as a small demon. But thinking that his current size was only 15 meters, Wang Mang was relieved. Wang Mang sneered inwardly when he saw the black bear great demon glaring at him furiously. The next moment, under the black bear great demon's stunned gaze, he saw that Wang Mang's small body began to expand at a speed visible to the naked eye. Moments later, Wang Mang had already returned to the size of a behemoth. Following that, Wang Mang stood up, his huge snake body more than 10 meters tall. His huge snake head looked down at the black bear great demon from above, and he said with a sinister smile, "What about now? Let's see if I'm big enough." After hearing Wang Mang's words, the black bear great demon, who was stunned on the spot, came back to his senses. He subconsciously swallowed his saliva. Wang Mang, who was in a daze, felt his scalp go numb. Obviously, he did not expect this inconspicuous guy to be a terrifying great demon. Why did he say that Wang Mang was terrifying? Because Wang Mang was originally 15 meters long. In the end, he became a 60-meter behemoth in an instant. 60 meters long. Such a python demon was definitely a full-fledged great demon. It might even be a great demon whose cultivation was very close to that of a demon king. Because the terrifying aura on Wang Mang's body was too terrifying, especially when Wang Mang looked down at him. It was a terrifying feeling. This made him feel that the Wang Mang in front of him wasn't much different from his king. At the same time, the black bear great demon immediately realized that his previous tone was a little arrogant. Thinking of this, the black bear great demon wanted to cry, but no tears came out. He wanted to curse Wang Mang. "You're King huge. Can you not become so small? If you didn't become so small, I wouldn't dare to talk to you like that." Therefore, under Wang Mang's cold gaze, the black bear great demon shuddered. With a stuttering smile, he said, "Your Majesty, this lowly one's mouth stinks. I didn't think that I would actually offend the king. I deserve it. My mouth stinks and I deserve a beating." As he spoke, the black bear great demon started slapping his big mouth. Seeing this, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. This black bear great demon had a high level of awareness. Seeing Wang Mang nod his head, Black Bear heaved a sigh of relief. He was afraid that Wang Mang would attack him at the slightest disagreement or directly swallow him whole. This was because the Black Bear great demon guessed that Wang Mang's strength was definitely close to that of a demon king. Black Bear even believed that Wang Mang had already reached the level of a demon king. This was also the reason why the Black Bear was so obedient in front of Wang Mang. If Wang Mang was a small demon, he would naturally attack with a heavy punch. Even if Wang Mang was a powerful demon, he would still be polite. At most, he would be more polite, but he would never admit defeat on the spot. However, Wang Mang was a demon king. It was almost as terrifying as the king's aura. Just as Wang Mang was about to speak, the system's voice sounded ding. Detected the host's current situation. The host is given the following choices. Mission 1. Bow down to the new demon king and curry favor with him. Mission time. Available upon selection. Mission reward. 200 million evolution points. Mission 2. Completely ignore the new demon king and turn a blind eye to him. Mission time. Available upon selection. Mission reward. 400 million evolution points. Mission 3. Provoke the new Demon King and obtain its approval. Mission time. Available upon obtaining the new Demon King's approval. Mission reward. 600 million evolution points. Designated lottery ticket X1. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned. He never thought that the system would give him another mission. This was indeed a surprise to him. However, after listening to the system's mission, it seemed that the new Demon King had some strength. Of course, the Demon King was not enough for him to curry favor with. He was also a Demon King, although it was only a new Demon King. Thinking about this, Wang Mang quickly made his decision. The rewards of these 3 missions were very clear. Moreover, Wang Mang was also a Demon King, so he was not afraid of the Demon King. Moreover, Wang Mang was also curious. What was the designated lottery ticket? Could it be that he had to draw something good? Thinking about this, the happy Wang Mang said in his heart, "System, I choose the 3rd mission." In the next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have successfully chosen the mission. Host, please quickly complete the mission and obtain the reward. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang nodded his head in satisfaction. After that, Wang Mang knew that it was time for him to provoke. After all, his mission was to provoke the new Demon King and obtain his approval. Thinking of this, Wang Mang looked down at the Black Bear Great Demon and said arrogantly, "Go back and tell your king that if he has the ability, he can come find me. If he dares to come here without fear of death, I'll beat the sh*t out of him." After hearing Wang Mang's words, the Black Bear Great Demon was stunned. He had seen arrogant people before, but he had never seen such an arrogant person. To be honest, the Black Bear Great Demon did not expect this. The super giant python in front of him did not take his king seriously at all. He even wanted to beat the sh*t out of his king. Oh my god, big brother, are you getting a little arrogant? However, the Black Bear Great Demon did not know that Wang Mang was not just arrogant. Ever since his strength had increased, Wang Mang no longer took the Demon King seriously. In the past, the Demon King could kill him, but now it was impossible for the Demon King to kill him. If it was a powerful great demon, he could run even if he could not defeat it. Besides, Wang Mang's strength now was definitely at the Demon King level. Therefore, Wang Mang was already arrogant. It was not an exaggeration to describe Wang Mang's arrogance as looking down on others. Therefore, when the Black Bear Great Demon said that he was arrogant, he was looking down on him. At this moment, seeing the Black Bear Great Demon staring at him in a daze, Wang Mang was immediately puzzled. Could it be that his words were not arrogant enough? Thinking of this, Wang Mang was suddenly enlightened. Then, Wang Mang's tone became even more arrogant. "Get lost. Tell your king that if he has the ability, he can come and try. I only need one hand, oh no. I can crush him with a single finger. Beating him is like beating my son." After hearing Wang Mang's words, the Black Bear Great Demon was stunned. This was the first time he had seen such an arrogant demon. He actually said that he could crush his king with one finger. He wanted to say to Wang Mang, "Brother, although you are strong, my king should be stronger than you." Of course, he only thought about it and did not dare to say it out loud, because after the Black Bear Great Demon heard Wang Mang's words, he was even more certain of his guess. The super giant python in front of him was definitely not a great demon. How could a mere great demon dare to say such a thing? This guy was definitely a Demon King. Thinking of this, the Black Bear Great Demon laughed and nodded. "All right, I will definitely pass on the king's words." After saying that, the Black Bear Great Demon hurriedly left. After seeing the Black Bear Great Demon leave, Wang Mang secretly heaved a sigh of relief. Then, Wang Mang prepared to return home. His ruthless words from before were completely just boasting. Because of this, after saying those harsh words, Wang Mang's imposing manner was a little weak in his heart. He could not wait to go back to the lottery to increase his strength. He hoped that he could increase his strength before this new Demon King came knocking on his door. It would be best if he could evolve again, because Wang Mang had no confidence at all to deal with this unknown demon king. Moreover, those who were familiar with Wang Mang's character basically knew he had always been careful when dealing with the strong and punching the weak. Of course, when it came to harsh words, Wang Mang had never been afraid of anyone. After all, he was also a demon king. His imposing manner depended on roaring. Therefore, after returning to the nest, Wang Mang could not wait to increase his strength. He immediately said in his heart in anticipation, "System, start the random lottery." Chapter 126. In the next moment, the system's familiar voice resounded. Ding. Congratulations, host. Successfully used the free lottery chance. Then, a lucky compass appeared in Wang Mang's mind. However, when Wang Mang looked at the lucky compass, he could not help but sigh in relief. This was because the 9 prizes did not disappoint him. The 9 prizes were as follows: 3 billion evolution points, 900 million evolution points, 600 million evolution points, 1% evolution card, 3% evolution card, 6% evolution card, beginner blind box X1, advanced blind box X1, free evolution card. Although these 9 prizes were not as good as the previous 3 lottery chances, they were still very good. However, in Wang Mang's eyes, they were still very good. The worst prize was still 600 million. Thinking about this, Wang Mang was bursting with joy. If his luck was good, he could get an advanced blind box. Or perhaps getting 3 billion evolution points was not bad either. Thinking about this, Wang Mang's mood became better. Then, the lucky wheel in his mind began to spin. Wang Mang waited in anticipation and apprehension. A minute passed. Only then did the lucky wheel slowly stop. Wang Mang's heart could not help but beat faster. In the next moment, the system's familiar voice resounded. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 600 million evolution points. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang was speechless. He never thought that the system would really give him 600 million evolution points. Although 600 million evolution points might not be the worst of the 9 prizes. However, it was more or less the same. This was because even if he got a blind box, there was still a chance of getting something good from the blind box. Because of that, Wang Mang felt somewhat helpless. He never thought that after being so lucky for so long, he would drop the chain when he desperately wanted to evolve. Whatever. It seems like the goddess of luck is still sleeping. Moreover, I obtained 600 million evolution points. I only need 200 million evolution points to evolve again. Thinking about this, Wang Mang's mood became a lot better. He originally had a 2-fold evolution card. Once he used it, he only needed 800 million evolution points. Now that he obtained 600 million, he only needed 200 million. For a time, Wang Mang couldn't help but sigh with emotion. He never thought that he would only need a few hundred evolution points each time he evolved. How long has it been? The number of evolution points he needed was already in the hundreds of millions. This could only be said to be the result of his hard work. After all, Wang Mang had always placed evolution at the top of his priority list. That was because the strong preyed on the weak no matter where they were, and strength was everything. Thus, Wang Mang naturally placed increasing his strength as his primary goal. However, how was he going to get 200 million evolution points? Thinking about this, Wang Mang had a headache. He estimated that he would not be able to get 200 million evolution points before the new king came. Thinking about this, Wang Mang felt a bit sad. It seemed that the method of sharpening his spear at the last minute would not work. Thus, Wang Mang could only hope that the new king would come quickly. Of course, this was not what Wang Mang hoped for the most. What he hoped the most was that the new demon king was not too strong. At the same time, Wang Mang did not know. The black bear demon that he had bullied, he had already returned to his king's territory. In a dense forest with towering trees, he saw his king sleeping soundly. The black bear, great demon, said tearfully, My king, king. Hearing this, the sleeping behemoth slowly opened its eyes. This super behemoth was a super black bear demon king with a body size of 50 meters. Nickname, Black Mountain King. This super black bear, great demon, slowly sat up. Looking at his underlings, he glared angrily and said, "What's wrong? If you don't tell me the reason today, I will beat you to death." After saying this, the mountain-like black bear began to clench his fists and wipe his palms. Seeing this scene, the black bear demon, who was already frightened, knelt on the ground. His tone was agitated. He complained about Wang Mang's arrogance and despotism in a tearful voice. "Woo-woo. King, you don't know. This little one followed the king's orders and patrolled the mountains to pass down the king's orders. Originally, everything was fine. However, when this little one came to the Huanshan Reservoir, the demon king in that territory actually spoke arrogant words." After hearing these words, Wang Mang's originally furious black bear's eyes turned, and he slowly opened his mouth. "Are you sure? Are you sure it's not a demon king and not a demon king?" After being stunned for a while, the black bear demon said with uncertainty, "King, this little one suspects that he is a demon king. His aura is very terrifying. I feel that he is not far from you. This little one was only looked down at a few times." That feeling was like being looked at by the king. Hearing this, the Black Mountain King was a little surprised. After thinking for a while, he was puzzled. Before he occupied the Tree Demon King's territory, he naturally understood the situation in advance. He had never heard of a demon king. However, he knew of a few powerful demons. They were a stone demon in Maplewood Mountain and the Green Peak Forest White Python clan. The other one was a super giant python in the Huanshan Reservoir. He had heard that this super giant python demon was very strong. It had even offended the Tree Demon King, but it was still alive. Could it be that there was something fishy here? Thinking of this, the Black Mountain King began to think. Obviously, those who could become demon kings were not fools. After all, they had lived for thousands of years. It was not an exaggeration to say that they were old and cunning. However, after thinking for a long time, the Black Mountain King still could not think of anything else. Therefore, the Black Mountain King narrowed his dark eyes and looked at his subordinate. He slowly asked, "Oh?" And he said something arrogant? What did he say? Hearing this, the black bear demon was stunned. He looked like he wanted to say something, but stopped. In fact, he did not dare to say what Wang Mang asked him to pass on, because what Wang Mang said was simply too arrogant. If this bad-tempered king heard what Wang Mang asked him to pass on, he was afraid that before Wang Mang could be crushed to death, he would be crushed to death first. Seeing his subordinate's hesitation, the Black Mountain King roared. The Black Mountain King roared in anger. "Why aren't you telling me? If you don't tell me, I'll kill you." Hearing this, the black bear demon trembled in fear. He said nervously, "Your Majesty, you have to promise not to hit me after hearing this." The Black Mountain King angrily stared. After thinking for a while, he nodded and said, "Say it. Your Majesty. It's like this." As he spoke, the black bear great demon looked at his king anxiously and explained the situation to him. Halfway through, the black bear demon began to hesitate. He also said that if your Majesty dares to go, what will he do? Say it. The furious Black Mountain King could not help but growl. The black bear demon kneeled on the ground in fear and said while trembling, he said that if your Majesty dares to go, he will beat the *T out of your Majesty. Chapter 127. As soon as he finished speaking, Black Bear Demon felt like he was about to suffocate. He felt that all his strength had been sucked out as he looked up at his king in fear. But in the next moment, he was sent flying by his king's slap. Black Bear, Great Demon's body, landed more than 10 meters away. He hurriedly got up in fear and looked at his king, who had already sat up from the ground in anger. "What did you say?" "Say that again, you mother of ***. The Black Mountain King glared at him like a ferocious tiger. He looked ferocious and terrifying. Black Bear Demon did not dare to say it again. His king had just said that he would not hit him, but when he heard that, he immediately slapped him, because Black Bear Demon was in tears as he said aggrievedly, "King, what I said is true." Hearing that, the Black Mountain King was furious for a while before he said fiercely, "Come here and continue." Upon hearing this, the Black Bear Great Demon hurriedly shook his head in horror. He did not dare to go over now. He had just received a slap. "I told you to come over." The Black Mountain King's tone was cold. Black Bear Demon trembled all over before he braced himself and climbed up in fear. The Black Mountain King said coldly, "Speak." What else did he say? Black Bear Demon could only brace himself and say while trembling, "King." He also said, "He can crush you with one finger." As soon as he finished speaking, a loud sound was heard. It was accompanied by a scream. Black Bear Demon was sent flying again. This time, he flew more than 20 meters. Black Bear Demon, whose face was bruised and swollen, could not help but cry. "King, why did you hit me again? Didn't you promise not to hit me?" Hearing that, the Black Mountain King, who was still angry, glared at him. "Did I say that? Why don't I remember? Besides, hitting is affection, scolding is love. Could it be that you want me to keep my anger bottled up in my heart and not vent it out?" Black Bear Demon almost fainted from crying. He could not bear the love of his king. Moreover, even if he wanted to vent his anger, why did he have to vent it on him? "Your sister. If you're angry, you can go hit that python demon. What's the use of getting angry at me? Why is it always me who gets hurt?" The Black Bear Demon was extremely sad. At this moment, the Black Mountain King, who was burning with rage, slowly stood up. The next moment, his body transformed into a 2-meter-tall, abnormally muscular black bear. He said coldly, "What an arrogant fellow. Looks like he is indeed a demon king. Then this king would like to see if you can really crush me to death with a single finger." After furiously muttering to himself for a while, the Black Mountain King got up and left. Obviously, he wanted to teach Wang Mang a lesson. Even demon kings had differences in strength. From the Black Mountain King's point of view, the giant python demon king must have just become a demon king not long ago. He was definitely not a match for him. He had been a demon king for a very long time. This fellow who had just become a giant python demon king was definitely no match for him. At the same time, near the Huanshan Reservoir, after the sky darkened, Wang Mang came out of the cave again. As usual, he first went to the farm to eat 10,000 pigs. At this point, he easily earned 88 million evolution points. This made Wang Mang secretly nod his head in satisfaction. After eating the pigs, he left the farm in satisfaction. After that, Wang Mang first patrolled the land. Wang Mang came to the reservoir again and prepared to patrol the land as usual. Although he had handed over the reservoir to Old Turtle, he still came to take a look occasionally. Moreover, since he handed over the reservoir to Old Turtle, he was quite comfortable as a hands-off shopkeeper. However, just as Wang Mang was patrolling the reservoir, he vaguely felt a tyrannical demonic aura. This aura is not an ordinary great demon. Could it be that the new demon king is already here? Thinking of this, Wang Mang, who was originally in a good mood, felt his heart sink. After that, Wang Mang immediately rushed towards the source of the aura and prepared to go to the bank of the reservoir. However, right at this moment, Wang Mang saw that in the distant dark forest, an enormous monster had appeared by the reservoir's shore. It was a super black bear that was more than 50 meters tall. Its appearance looked very strong, and its aura was particularly fierce. When it came to the bank of the reservoir and saw Wang Mang, it could not help but open its bloody mouth and roar. Roar! Roar! Arrogant. So it's you who dares to talk nonsense to this king? At this moment, this super huge black bear spoke in human language, and its voice was filled with anger. Hearing this, Wang Mang was stunned for a while and immediately recovered. At the same time, Wang Mang also used information detection on this guy. In the next moment, this huge monster's information appeared in front of Wang Mang. Target: Black Mountain King's Eyes, 51 meters tall, 90 tons weight. Cultivation experience: 3,600 years. Magical ability: Earth brute force. Berserk demon. Reinforced iron bones. Can shrink at will. After looking at this guy's information, Wang Mang was suddenly shocked. He did not expect this guy's strength. It was actually stronger than the Tree Demon King. Although its size was not as big as the Tree Demon King, its cultivation experience was higher than the Tree Demon King. However, after thinking about it, Wang Mang was relieved. After all, the Tree Demon King was a wood-type monster, and its body was usually bigger. If comparing the size of animal-type monsters, it was really difficult to compare with these wood-type monsters. However, judging from its cultivation experience, this Black Mountain King's strength was even stronger. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt a headache. Could he really beat such a big guy? This guy was more than 50 meters tall when it stood up, and it was an old monster king. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt conflicted and helpless at the same time. To be honest, Wang Mang was a little scared when he did not see this new monster king. However, after seeing this new Black Mountain King, Wang Mang felt even more scared. With such a huge body, it was completely impossible for him to beat the other party. Moreover, this guy had a lot of supernatural powers. There were 4 or 5 of them. Perhaps he did not have any skills, but all of his supernatural powers were suitable for fighting. Therefore, if they really fought, Wang Mang felt that the possibility of him beating the other party was not high. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was not in a hurry to go ashore. He had to seize every advantage. If they fought in the water, he had the biggest advantage. It was even possible for him to turn the tables. Thinking of this, Wang Mang stood up 30 meters tall with his huge body. Moreover, in the reservoir, he looked at the Black Mountain King from afar. "Didn't you say you would beat the shit out of me? Come, I'm already here. Then beat the shit out of me. I'll be waiting for you." At this moment, the Black Mountain King, who was standing on the shore of the reservoir, suddenly said with a face full of ridicule. Before seeing Wang Mang, he had already guessed that Wang Mang was the new Monster King. Now, he realized that it was true. Therefore, he was not worried at all. He looked at Wang Mang with disdain, his eyes full of disdain. Clearly, he had never placed a new Archfiend King like Wang Mang in his eyes. Chapter 128. Wang Mang, who was originally feeling a little guilty, was instantly enraged when he saw how arrogant the Black Mountain King was. Wang Mang directly provoked, "Come on, come down if you dare. I'll kill you." After hearing Wang Mang's words, the Black Mountain King was even more furious. He didn't expect that Wang Mang would dare to be so arrogant in front of him, especially when he saw Wang Mang's provocative look. The Black Mountain King was so angry that his whole body trembled. Come up if you dare. I'll tear you apart." The Black Mountain King angrily lowered his chest and roared at Wang Mang. Hearing this, Wang Mang secretly sneered. This guy wanted him to go up? That was simply wishful thinking. His fighting strength in the water was at its peak. If he was on land, his fighting strength would be greatly affected, because Wang Mang's speed in the water was terrifying, and he could breathe normally in the water. This was also the reason why Wang Mang didn't want to go up on land. He felt that if he wanted to fight with this big guy, the best way to win was in the water. He had a chance to win in the water, but he might not have a chance on land. This guy's divine ability was simply ridiculously powerful. For example, reinforced iron bones. Just from a name, one could tell that it was a defensive divine ability. Moreover, this defensive divine ability was definitely not weak. It was possible that it was even stronger than he guessed. Even if it couldn't compare to his body of steel, it was probably not far off. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was even more determined. He definitely wouldn't go up. Thinking of this, Wang Mang sneered and shouted, "Come down if you dare. Let's see if I can kill you." At this time, seeing that Wang Mang had been staying in the water and provoking him, the Black Mountain King was so angry that he gritted his teeth. He had never seen such a shameless person. When he wasn't here, he had been provoking him. Now that he was here, this guy was hiding in the water and not coming out. In anger, the Black Mountain King sneered, "All right, let's see if you'll stay in the water for the rest of your life. If worst comes to worst, I'll set up my territory here." Hearing the Black Mountain King's words, Wang Mang was stunned. He didn't think that he was already shameless enough. But this Black Mountain King, when he was shameless, he did not show any weakness. No, Wang Mang felt that in terms of shamelessness, this guy was even more shameless. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel helpless. If the Black Mountain King really wanted to do this, Wang Mang would definitely accept the challenge. If the Black Mountain King took over his territory, he would never be able to develop, unless Wang Mang was willing to leave this place. But the Black Bear Demon King would probably be happy to see that happen. Therefore, Wang Mang knew that this battle was unavoidable. Thinking of this, Wang Mang moved his huge body and slowly approached the shore. Seeing this, the Black Mountain King was secretly pleased. When it came to shamelessness, he didn't think that he was weaker than anyone. Seeing Wang Mang come ashore obediently, the Black Mountain King couldn't help but laugh sinisterly. "I'll satisfy you and beat the shit out of you." After saying this, the Black Mountain King ran towards Wang Mang. Like a mountain, he ran towards him. Even as the Black Mountain King ran over, Wang Mang could clearly feel the ground trembling slightly. Of course, Wang Mang didn't show any weakness. After opening his mouth and roaring, he moved his huge body and rushed over. In an instant, the two huge creatures rushed towards each other. The battle could be said to be triggered at any moment. Steel body. Wang Mang didn't hesitate to use his battle skill. At the same time, Wang Mang also noticed the Black Bear Demon King who was rushing towards him. His body also underwent a huge transformation in the process. His originally fleshy muscles were now like pieces of steel. It could be said that Wang Mang's transformation and the Black Bear Demon King's transformation were all seen by the other party. In the next moment, accompanied by an earth-shattering sound, Wang Mang had already opened his bloody mouth and fiercely bit the Black Mountain King. However, Wang Mang felt as if he was biting a huge piece of steel. Similarly, Wang Mang's behavior of focusing on attacking and not defending was naturally taken advantage of by the Black Mountain King. The Black Mountain King grabbed Wang Mang's huge body with both hands and opened his bloody mouth at the same time to crazily bite Wang Mang. Obviously, the Black Mountain King also wanted to kill Wang Mang and directly used his mouth. However, when he bit down, he almost couldn't help but cry out, although his terrifying bite force was very terrifying. However, Wang Mang's body had already activated the body of steel. It would not be an exaggeration to say that Wang Mang's body was as tough as steel. It could be said that after the first round of battle, both parties didn't gain any advantage. This was because Wang Mang wanted to bite down and inject the corrosive poison. However, the problem was that Wang Mang didn't bite this guy at all. Yes, when Wang Mang bit down, he felt that he couldn't inject the corrosive poison at all. In desperation, he could only spray the corrosive poison directly at the place where he bit down. However, Wang Mang, who had just done all this, couldn't help but almost scream out in pain. This son of a bitch actually bit him, although he was full of confidence in his steel body. Wang Mang didn't expect the Black Bear Demon King's bite force to be so terrifying. Wang Mang almost couldn't hold back his tears from the excruciating pain. Roar! "Ah, you bastard, you can even use poison." The Black Mountain King, who was screaming in pain, angrily pulled Wang Mang off his body and threw him far away. After throwing Wang Mang away, the Black Bear Demon King looked at the wound on his chest that was rotting and turning into blood. He viciously tore off the flesh in that area. Obviously, only he could tear off the flesh on his own body, just like how only Wang Mang could get hurt if he wanted to. Of course, although the Black Bear Demon King didn't feel good, Wang Mang felt even worse. Not to mention that he was thrown so far away. He was dizzy from the fall. Wang Mang looked at his lower body. The place where the Black Mountain King bit him had a row of very deep teeth marks. Super self-healing. Bloodthirsty fury. Similarly, Wang Mang used 2 more skills. Then, Wang Mang prepared to attack. However, the Black Bear Demon King, who was flustered and exasperated, was already charging towards him. "Ah, I'm going to kill you today." The Black Bear Demon King opened his bloody mouth and roared angrily, looking at Wang Mang with his scarlet eyes. The distance between the two was almost instantaneously close. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang directly opened his bloody mouth and sprayed a mouthful of corrosive poison at the Black Bear Demon King's face. Obviously, Wang Mang wanted to use the method he used to deal with the Brown Bear Demon King to try and deal with the Black Bear Demon King. Once the Black Bear Demon King was hit by his corrosive poison, especially at the Black Bear Demon King's eyes. Once the Black Bear Demon King was hit, it could be announced that Wang Mang's victory was in sight. Chapter 129. Of course, Wang Mang's idea was very good. But how could a Demon King be a simple character? The Black Bear Demon King's cultivation was even higher than the Tree Demon King. In his entire life, he had fought countless demons. In terms of combat experience, he could beat Wang Mang by several streets. Moreover, he had been injured by Wang Mang's corrosive poison earlier. Therefore, he had long been aware of Wang Mang's poison. The moment Wang Mang spat out the corrosive poison, the Black Bear Demon King, who reacted extremely quickly, immediately raised his thick bare arms to block in front of his face. Poochie! Wang Mang's corrosive poison was like a cup of water splashing onto the Black Bear Demon King's arm. Even the Black Bear Demon King's steel-like arm slowly rotted into pus and blood. But the Black Bear Demon King didn't care at all. He fiercely reached out and grabbed Wang Mang's huge snake head. Then, the Black Bear Demon King fiercely pressed Wang Mang's huge snake head to the ground. His other arm crazily pounded Wang Mang's head. For a moment, Wang Mang only felt a headache. This time it was really a headache. No kidding. After all, the Black Bear Demon King was too big. One could imagine how terrifying the power of exasperation and anger was. After a few punches, Wang Mang himself felt dizzy. However, Wang Mang's heart was filled with even more anger. He was also a Demon King. How could he be beaten? Therefore, Wang Mang began to struggle crazily. Moreover, because Wang Mang had already used bloodthirsty fury, the more serious the injury, the more powerful the superposition of combat strength. At first, the Black Bear Demon King could still press Wang Mang's head to the ground and pound it. But after a long time, he found that although Wang Mang's head was bleeding, it was still as hard as iron. Not only that, Wang Mang's strength to struggle became stronger and stronger. This shocked the Black Bear Demon King greatly. In his shock and anger, in order to suppress Wang Mang, he also used a skill, Earth Brute Force, Berserk Demon. It could be said that he didn't use any skills other than shrinking himself. The Black Bear Demon King had already displayed all of his special skills in battle. Under the support of the Earth Brute Force and the Berserk Demon, the Black Bear Demon King easily held down Wang Mang again. Not only that, but he was also like a crazy monster. Previously, he had used one of his bare arms to hold down Wang Mang. But after using these two skills, he was like a raging gorilla. He clenched his huge fists and smashed Wang Mang on the ground. Similarly, Wang Mang's body was even deformed by this guy's beating. To be honest, if it wasn't for Wang Mang forcefully suppressing his anger, he wouldn't have been able to hold it in. He wouldn't have been able to hold on any longer. These crazy punches made Wang Mang feel like his body was about to be crippled. That kind of sour and painful feeling was something that ordinary people couldn't understand. However, as Wang Mang's injuries became more and more serious, Wang Mang even gave up on using super self-healing, because Wang Mang, who had been blinded by anger, was struggling wildly. The Black Bear Demon King struggled frantically, and its huge tail kept whipping the Black Bear Demon King. Moreover, in order to vent his anger, even if Wang Mang was pressed to the ground and beaten, his tail was especially used to hit the Black Bear Demon King's face. The two could be said to be completely enraged. At the same time, after being at a disadvantage for a long time, Wang Mang's huge body was already riddled with injuries. But Wang Mang's fighting strength was exploding. That's right, under unprecedented injuries. Wang Mang didn't even use super self-healing. His fighting strength had simply risen to a level that he had never reached before. At this moment, Wang Mang, under the unlimited support of the bloodthirsty rage, finally began to level the battle. From the beginning, he was pressed to the ground and beaten. Now, Wang Mang's huge body was tightly wrapped around the Black Bear Demon King. At the same time, Wang Mang was completely bloodthirsty. His snake eyes were incomparably scarlet. Wang Mang opened his bloody mouth crazily and bit the Black Bear Demon King. At the same time, the Black Bear Demon King was rolling on the ground crazily, constantly beating Wang Mang, who was wrapped around his body. However, he wasn't worried at all that Wang Mang could kill him. Because Wang Mang's huge body was wrapped around his body, it was impossible to wrap him to death. On the contrary, with the support of the Earth Brute Force and the Berserk Demon King, the Black Bear Demon King was also bloodthirsty. Now he was rolling on the ground, constantly beating Wang Mang. At the same time, Wang Mang also seemed to have gone crazy, constantly biting him. Both sides looked particularly miserable, and at the same time, they were riddled with wounds. Although Wang Mang's body was almost deformed from the beating. However, the Black Bear Demon King was not unharmed from head to toe, because, other than his eyes, his entire body was bitten and sprayed with corrosive poison by Wang Mang. It could be said that his huge body was as if it had been burned by fire. There was no place on his body that was unharmed. 5 hours later, Wang Mang and the Black Bear Demon King had already fought until both sides were riddled with injuries. Even a section of Wang Mang's tail had been bitten off by the Black Bear Demon King's relentless bite. However, Wang Mang did not care at all. He was now trading injury for injury, with the support of the bloodthirsty fury, unless he could kill Wang Mang in an instant. Otherwise, it would be impossible for the Black Bear Demon King to kill Wang Mang. Therefore, both sides fought until the wee hours of the morning. From a shore of the reservoir surrounded by the mountains, they rolled on the ground and fought deep into the forest. Along the way, it was a complete mess. There were ruins everywhere from the battle. In the blink of an eye, another day and night passed. This day and night, Wang Mang was fighting with the Black Bear Demon King. Unfortunately, the outcome of the battle had not been decided yet, because Wang Mang could indeed barely be on par with the Black Bear Demon King. But he definitely could not defeat the Black Bear Demon King, because Wang Mang really could not understand why this guy's strength was endless. It was as if he had activated the bloodthirsty fury skill. But what Wang Mang did not know was that among the Black Bear Demon King's 4 skills, other than the ability to shrink at will, the rest were all combat skills. Reinforced iron bones made his body indestructible. Although it had not reached the level of Wang Mang's body of steel, it was basically made of iron. In addition, the Great Brute strength skill was incomparably abnormal. As long as his body was in contact with the ground, it could continue to increase his combat strength. As long as the Black Bear Demon King was in an angry state, his combat strength would continue to increase. Therefore, it could be said that the Black Bear Demon King's 2 skills were somewhat similar to Wang Mang's bloodthirsty fury. At this moment, the Black Bear Demon King, whose body was still entangled in fighting, suddenly grabbed Wang Mang's huge snake head tightly and said in a deep voice, "Let's fight again next time. Let's fight again next time. Those great demons are still waiting for me, the new king. In the future, the territory around here will belong to you, not me. Wang Mang, let's mind our own business." Speaking of this, the Black Bear Demon King's tone was somewhat helpless. Although he could suppress Wang Mang, he really could not find a way to kill Wang Mang, because Wang Mang's ability was too omnipotent. He had a combat skill, body of steel, corrosive poison. He had a healing skill, super self-healing, and a skill similar to his to increase his combat strength. It could be said that Wang Mang had the ability to attack, defend, and self-heal. He could not kill Wang Mang at all. Otherwise, he would really have the idea of killing Wang Mang. And this idea was very strong. What was helpless was that he could not kill Wang Mang. He could only acquiesce to the existence of Wang Mang, because after fighting for so long, He had no way of killing Wang Mang at all. Therefore, he naturally knew that it was very difficult to kill an omnipotent demon king like Wang Mang. Since he could not kill him, he would make peace. At the same time, after hearing the Black Bear Demon King's words, Wang Mang's scarlet snake eyes revealed a trace of rationality. His mind was finally clear. He did not know what had happened. What did the Black Bear Demon King just say? Just as Wang Mang was about to open his mouth in confusion, the system's familiar voice sounded. Ding. Congratulations, host. Mission completed. Successfully obtained the recognition of the new Demon King. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 600 million evolution points. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained a designated lottery ticket X1. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.